All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are slowly getting ready for game two. Just going to link game two here. All right, so okay, so we're getting ready. I'm just explaining that the American team used their re. Re means ask for a remake of the map. So they don't have that option going into game two. Game two, the Russians do have that option. If they before turn 5 is over, they can request for a re, and then the map will be regenerated. If the Americans win, they do win this set, and they advance to the finals. So big pressures on the Russians. We'll see if see what they do. They got kind of clobbered last game. Maybe are they gonna? They're gonna go. They're gonna roll with the same factions. Okay. I think SM needs to go Devastators against the Hell Brutes and especially the Molar Fiends. I think Devastators are the answer. AM, he needs more production. Last game he didn't have enough production buildings. All right, so we're gonna jump into this. All right. So again, the American team does not have any rees left. They have to just take this map, whether they like it or not. The Russians can use the re if they need it. So we'll see if the Russians decide to use the re. So are they gonna forward base together? One player has to reconnect. So last game, the Russians did forward base together. Will they do it this game? And let's look at the map. So wildlife for this map, lots of Umbras on the right mid side of the map. Got some ambles, and that's about it. No robots on this map, so for some reason this set with these teams, we're not getting many robots. Looking at the layout for relics, we got a relic in the mids between SM and AM. It looks like we got a forward base again with the AM player. So I wonder if they'd be more greedy, go more eco build this game. Get AM teched up to Lehman Russ early, maybe. Like, they need to maybe try something different. And I think SM should go Devastators if. So we got one HP relic sort of in the mid north, or the north mid part, and then other relic we got in the mid is the loyalty. So I know the American team, Deimos and Patuljak, they like to play 3 base. They like to play that econ type standard build that most players play. So grabbing that loyalty relic is just going to make them, you know, want to make this game go out longer, because if they do economy 3 base, then they can definitely afford to sit pretty with this loyalty relic that's in between them. Is there any more relics in the middle of the map? No. Oh, there's one more here. Oh, right close to SM. Okay, loyalty relic. So AM would want to take that to get a bonus, but AM needs to get 3 city. Last game, AM only was on 2 cities, so. And we've got a Science Desert from Chaos player Deimos. Grabbing Trader. Patuljak is deciding where he wants to play city. We do have an Arctic 40, but he doesn't see that over there. And unfortunately, he's city blocked 4 tiles, so he can't even go there if he wants, now that he placed that down. So he's gone with Arctic Power as standard Patuljak Science first with Tau. So he can get those technologies that will allow him to buy resources and also get to drones faster. All right, so I guess the next couple turns, we've got an ore extractor from AM. So now it looks like he's going to go probably more aggressive into armories early game instead of the barracks first. And what is SM going to do? He's grabbing the loyalty outpost. I'm not sure about that move, but maybe, yeah. Maybe he's trying to unlock the armory tech and he just wants to spend turns. Now this is rough. They might ask for, like, he's being crippled by this cliff. It's, yeah, I don't know. And those for you watching, what are your predictions? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the Americans are going to win again? Are they going to steamroll? Is this going to be a stalemate? Or do you predict any difference from the Russians? Are the Russians going to change their strategy? Write in the comment. Let me know. The Russians got to win this game. If they lose this, they're out of the Desert Cry tournament. So their spawns aren't as like far apart, but you do have this like cliff river. So they're kind of separated. So I think if they were rushing this game and they beelined, they would be probably a win, just because the terrain is terrible. I mean, for Chaos to try to reinforce Tau, they have to go the long way, and you got River dissecting this area too. So even going straight this way, it's a slow process. And then you got Ruins. Like, it's this game, it's going to be very hard for Chaos to effectively get here quickly. if Tau needs Chaos help. Although if both teams go just to middle, it's not too bad. Again, they forward together, so they're going to have a strong probably push early or control game here. So time will tell. We'll see what type of fortunes the victor here. So these are some of my predictions. I mean, they don't see this bad terrain here. Again, I don't want to stress this. We are spectating this match. We see everything. So a lot of this information that we see, the players don't have knowledge of. So as the turns slowly unwind here, we're going to see more different build choices that each player is going for based on what production we see. And I'm assuming SM is going Armory, I believe. The one thing I don't understand is grabbing the leaf, because the leaf gives you a loyalty bonus. And at this point in the game, you have literally no loyalty bonus, like very little. So I'm not a big fan of that choice, unless someone in the chat can explain why it was a good choice. Also, a fun note is grabbing this hex. The loyalty bonus that you get from this hex is just for that city alone, and it doesn't combo with the chaplain. Because some might be wondering if my chaplain gives loyalty bonus, does this thing, this recall leaf, give me the percentage bonus as well? It does not. So it doesn't. It only affects like the loyalty buildings that you build that will benefit from grabbing that tile. So he's going ore first. So definitely a little bit slower build, maybe better economy build. Players are grabbing their outposts, making moves. All right, so they're going to have an early secure loyalty relic. It's not going to really be a factor until AM gets 3 bases. Then that starts kicking in to be a lot more useful. 1 base loyalty relic isn't game breaking at all. So wildlife on this map is pretty tamed, far as like no robots, not that many Umbras. The Umbras are all on the right side here. And you can see the guardsman making some moves here, wheeling and dealing. That's annoying. The science got retaken by the hybrid. Whoops. So terrain-wise, I could say it doesn't look good for Chaos and Tau. Just that they're so, the terrain is so poor for them far as linking up at their bases. Now, if they take middle, maybe it's not as bad, but yeah, that's what I see so far right now. All right, so he's doing basically the same build he did last game. Far as the early build goes, he's doing science and an ore building. Over here again, standard, same thing as last game, cultist, and then I assume an ore because he got the rocks here. So American team from this point of the game doing the same build order. The Russian team has changed it up. They are doing slightly different build orders. The AM player is not going early barracks. He's putting an armory down. SM player is also probably going Armory too. If I had to take a guess. We'll see. Time will tell. And if you guys are enjoying this type of format, like tournaments with me commentary, and we also have a guest commentary, which is Wire Sky. So leave him some likes and good comments, like, oh, great commentary, Wire Sky. Please do more, because he doesn't have to. He's just literally doing it because he wanted to, make it more entertaining. Have two commentators instead of one. So appreciate it by him.
Yep, would appreciate the likes and comments, especially on Describe's video on demand.
And Wire Sky, are you doing content for any type 4K games or any games that you play right now, or like I know you dabbled in a little bit of like on Twitch streams when you were kind of playing this actively.
Not currently, but I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was just saying I enjoyed watching some of your games. They were pretty cool to watch. I liked when you played Tyranids, your mass lictors and mass raveners. That was always fun to watch. All right, so awesome that Wire Sky's joining me here, and pretty much nothing exciting happening right now. Again, this is kind of the least interesting part of Gladius for most people, is like probably from the early side of the game to turn 20. You're basically just fighting the AI wildlife basically. But like I said, there are things going on right now that they're discussing. The main things are expansions, what type of build order your teammates doing, how can you guys have the best composition, what factions are you going up against. So these are things that are being discussed most likely, but at the same time, everyone's the same faction in this game, and it appears that Deimos and Patuljak are kind of doing the same build orders right now, but their expansions might change the type of unit that they kind of go for based on their expansion. So we'll see. Right now, Chaos has good desert and good ore areas, and he has a power area, so I don't know if that will change things for Deimos.
Tao's got a really nice science start too.
Yeah, and I was commenting, I don't know if you were here, Wire Sky, but I was just commenting like in this middle part that I have my camera set up, how it's very, very poor for Chaos. Like if say Patuljak gets attacked, Chaos has the worst time. Like there's cliffs, there's rivers, there's forests, there's ruins. I'm seeing that now. Yeah, it's gonna take him a long time to try to get over there to help his friend. So I don't know if this will be a big factor in the game that we see here today, but it's definitely not a pretty sight. If you want to reinforce your ally, like you have to, like that river is just, oh man, that's a nasty.
Yep, and then there's cliffs all around it. Like hopefully they catch on, and then there's cliffs blocking Tao too. If they catch on to it quick, they can just maybe, kill that arm bull, grab that outpost, and then move away and meet up in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, the one saving grace I can say, if one of them goes like a transport, like the transports will help a little bit with the terrain, but it's still looking pretty bad. All right, so again, we have a forward SM base with AM again. I'm hoping that the Russians go more greedy here because, I mean, they forward together. Why not? I mean, their rush didn't work well last game, so why not try something different? Why not try to get a really good production economy going and then just play for the mid-late game? Like, see how well they can do against their late game. We'll see if that's what they choose. Now, the SM player is doing barracks first as their first production. I thought maybe he would choose armory for some weird reason. No, he's going barracks. So The other thing, me and Wire Sky were talking about post game. We're talking about how can the Russians deal with the Muller Fiend, because that seemed to be a really bad unit that they had no answer really for. And Wire Sky mentioned that the Devastator would probably be a good option. Range 3, a lot of armor piercing damage, plus the Edicts make it do more damage. So we'll see if the SM player does choose to go down that route. Now we do see a Chimera from the AM player this game now.
Oh, they were watching your stream. They learned. I don't mean like cheating. I mean, you mentioned it a lot last game. They should use the Chimera, and I think they should. You can transport allied troops too, so that's something.
Yeah, I did harp on the because you know I love my transport, so I was very disappointed that the Russians had no transport.
It's just a very powerful unit that you don't need a lot of. I know a lot of people run like the rhinos, like they use a lot of rhinos as like an attack unit and like a chaff unit, I guess. But as a transport, like every transport has like so much utility. Oh, look, they're already finding out about that river. This is what I was thinking was this is going to be sort of an issue for Tau. They don't have a lot of options to expand here. A lot of their resources have been taken away by this river and
Right, and that might lead them into expanding into their territory, maybe. So that could be dangerous.
yeah, making making it even easier for the Russian players to have an aggressive start on them.
All right, so turn 11. Again, they're just pushing, scouting, and grabbing outposts. Again, like Warsky said, they now see the cliffs, they see the rivers. Be interesting to see what their game plan is now. So I'm gonna switch quickly to their voice pod just to see if they're talking about what we're talking about.
What?
Where are you going to expand?
Yep.
Here.
I'm not playing the game. I'm doing a commentary.
Sounds good. Really defensive.
All right, so
Should be good.
I'm just trying to hear what they're
we're gonna
talking
rush
about.
You. We already heard them attack on the right.
So maybe I should be more careful where I put my forward.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they are on the right, so.
But I do want that war, so it's. I don't know. We'll see what else is there.
All right, so the Americans
Man,
are.
the sounds in this game are kind of broken. Like, they. I don't know.
All right, so the Americans are talking about their resources and what resources they want. I think they already talked about this lake when they first scouted it out.
For fuck's sake. How do I gonna go to you?
Okay, now they're talking about it.
We'll clear that forest a little bit later. I'll do an early builder. You're gonna have cultists.
Okay.
Yeah, so Deimos is realizing that it's not all fun in the
We do need to clear
in the land of Gladius
Dude,
right
this
now.
is water. This is water. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I have a lot of water.
Yeah. All right, so
I mean, I might need to go to you through the lower reach. Because I don't know if we even be able to go through this shit.
I think if I do my third on the right like that, it should be defensible enough. There's some wire with. There's cover from the left, from the main.
All right, so I'm gonna flip back to drop part 3. All right, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, they were making some comments. Deimos seemed to be pretty distraught about the terrain in the river, so he's not liking it so far. Patuljak seems to be still positive, but we'll see how this game goes. They do realize the challenges they have before them.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating because early on, at this level, everybody knows how to deal with wildlife, right? We know what we're doing there, so you just try to deal with the wildlife quickly and get all those outposts. But now there's a river, you can't deal with the river.
Yeah. It's exactly, it's there to stay in the game.
And what's worse is he can't even use the river to his advantage because there's a big cliff all around it. Like, at least with skimmers, he could like pop on the river, pop off, and use it as like a choke point that only he can cross. But he can't even.
Yeah, it's not one of those friendly rivers where, like you said, you can easily get skimmers in there, in and out. This thing's surrounded by a cliff.
Yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle for Tau especially, and for Chaos to try to find its way over there.
All right, so a second armory from AM. So that's actually it's more of aggressive build because there's no book involved here. So they might go for maybe a push against Deimos. We'll see. They need to scout it out. But the Chimeras are going to give them that mobility advantage that I was complaining about last game. So we'll see if they use that to their advantage. And the funny part is, so the Russians are going to have better mobility this game, but they don't even know what we see. So basically, Chaos is going to have the worst mobility, dealing with the rivers and the terrain and everything here. It looks like Deimos is going armor. And so we're going to see some rhinos again. So I think we're basically seeing the same build as last game from Deimos. Patuljak, we don't know exactly if he is going monster because he does have relay pipes. We'll see what he decides to do. But Tau is very flexible since they can kind of buy their resources. They can kind of do what they want to do a lot of games.
Yeah, he does have like a nice start. It's going to be tricky for him to find a second base hold. Like, that's not forward base. I think the Tau and the Chaos, they're going to have to meet up in the middle like pretty quickly if they want to protect. Like, this choke point's not going to help Tau with.
Right, they got to maybe delay that push. Maybe like like you said, take the middle, make them kind of waste time deciding what they want to do. The Umbras though are a deterrent though, going directly south. That is one nice luxury Patuljak has. You got 4 Umbras here, and I mean, if you have a big army, you don't want to be maneuvering a big army through a bunch of Umbras because sometimes they attack you. So, of course, if you get Hydras out, the Umbras are not even going to be a problem. So, again, I guess once you got 1 or 2 Hydras, then these Umbras will not be a problem whatsoever.
That's what I was thinking, that he's going to try to do that build where maybe he gets a couple Chimeras and puts like a unit in each one and then builds a bunch of Hydras behind it.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so he picked up Zohide. I don't think he's going hero this game, or maybe a late hero. I'm not sure, but he's opted for 2 barracks. And we're gonna get second armory coming down with the engineer coming down. Okay, good. So we're at turn 16, and like I said, Chaos is going for the mech build here. I assume he's going to go with the early Warp Smith again. Third base is Influence base, so I guess after this production building, he'll plop down a hero building, I think.
I'm interested to see where the Tau land for their second base.
Oh, second base, yeah.
Looks like he's going for that ore over there.
Oh, like right here. Or right here, I guess. Yeah, he would go in that second spot. Okay. So SM has a HP relic. That's really nice. We got frag grenades, and we got crack grenades on SM. So it looks like an infantry type build. Don't know if he's gonna go into armory. Probably not. AM player's gonna fill the armor role, I think, for the Russians this game. And we're seeing crew techs from Patuljak again. And I believe he's going to go to that spot, yes. So he can get the rocks.
Could be risky for Patuljak and Deimos to copy the same build, right? Because they've seen that build and they lost against it. They're gonna
Right.
change up. The Russians are gonna change it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if they're smart, they would probably say, okay, you know, like they beat us with this type of units. What can we do differently this game that's going to give us an advantage over that typical build unit? So like I said, I think, and discussing with you, I think we're going to see him tech into Devastators. And then maybe the Tremiras are going to ferry these Devastators and Space Marines to the front line quickly. So I think that's what we're going to see. I mean, the Russians like to, from what I know, is that they like to play aggressively. Most of their players, their mindset is not too many of them like to just sit back in the base and do nothing. And again, that's not a good strategy to do in this type of game.
Yeah, right. It all depends on your faction too, and you know what they're capable of. But yeah, they often opt for bring their armies close together factions and then attack fast, like SM in the forward base or Eldar in their gates.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting into the Umbra, the Valley of the Umbras, and I assume the Hydras are going to be unlocked pretty soon. AM's going to plop down his second city at a resource or volcanic probably. Or there's no ore volcanic, but there's down here. So he doesn't see that actually. So yeah, he has no knowledge of that one. But he has lots of volcanic terrain around him, so I imagine he's going to drop it down at a volcanic outpost. Patuljak's clearing the bottom right. He discovers another ore base here. Going for the third.
These guys are some high-level players. We're seeing like lots of bases real fast. We're seeing, maximum output of troops. This is really interesting to watch.
And like last game, nobody lost any unit to wildlife. So, I mean, that's usually you see that in the higher skill players is they generally don't lose anything to wildlife. I mean, sometimes it happens, but it happens usually if you're kind of greedy with the outposts. If you rush into the fog of war and you're alone, then yeah, sometimes your unit gets taken out by wildlife.
Yeah, you get surprised by like 2 large groups of something or some Castellans, or, and this has happened to me a few times, I decide I wanted to attack a dog, thinking that, oh, I can just kill 1 dog, and like 6 dogs show up to retaliate.
Yeah.
Man, those, you gotta respect the dogs.
So this is interesting. He's going for the Umbras before the Hydras. Okay. So I think in this instance, these 2 Umbras will attack the weakest unit, which would be his Guardian or his Guardsman. And it looks like it's going to survive just because there's lots of models of it. So we'll see. But the Chimera wants to get the finishing blow on the Umbra because it's a single unit and it's armored, so it doesn't take that much.
This is a lot of risk they're taking with these Umbras.
Yeah, aversion to light. Oh wait, I've never even read this before. By flame and melta weapons. Okay, yeah, Death Shriek. That's what we're talking about. So it's like one of those abilities that hits you back with damage, but it really hits multiple groups. So infantry and stuff like that take a lot of damage.
It's a template or something they call it, right?
Yeah. So we got Chaos here who lucked out on a Lords of Commands. That's a good item. Even if you don't want it, you can sell it for a good amount of influence back. So he lucked out on that.
It's a nice item for Chaos because they have such low morale, right?
Yeah.
Brings them back up pretty
Patuljak
fast.
picked up a Blight Grenade. Probably it'll get sold for influence if he does build heroes. SM has Zohide, and AM picked up Power Gauntlets, which is pretty useless for their heroes.
Yeah, Blade Grenade. I've never even seen one of those thrown in the thousands of hours that I've played this game.
Yeah, it's I'm surprised nobody's modded that to make it more useful, but maybe in the future they'll do something with it. So we're seeing the engagement of the Umbras, and that's leading towards Patuljak bases. Again, Chaos is going to be grabbing outposts. So he's in no rush to try to clear the wildlife to get to his ally, which could come back to bite him. We will see. It depends how aggressive the Russians are. If the Russians are very aggressive and they just beeline to Deimos, Deimos might be in trouble just because Deimos cannot effectively reinforce Patuljak effectively because of all the crap that's between them and the river and the cliff.
What did Space Marine start? I wasn't aware.
They started in this area, the top left, and then
Right,
they forward expanded over here with AM.
What did they take book or?
They did. His first tower was I think it was the pasture over here. Whoops. He took a pasture. A wreck. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of Umbras. Alright, so Builder Drone is making his move to the right side of Deimos' territory. At this point, I'm not 100% sure if Patuljak is going monster or if he's going armory. And what I mean by monster, I'm talking about ghost kills and riptides.
When you were over in Patuljak's and Deimos' Discord, it seemed like they were aware that they were over on the right. Maybe he's planning on just taking up all the outposts on the left and get a larger economy going.
Yeah, it could be. I think they mentioned something about Okay, so very good point that you made. Because I heard some of their conversation. They were talking about that you can hear sound information by zooming in with. Okay, for instance, if I'm like zoomed in over here, and they're fighting stuff, I can actually hear that sound, even though I have no sight of what's going on over here. So what I think Deimos was saying that it's kind of stupid that you can zoom your viewpoint into like blackness over here, and if they're fighting stuff, you're hearing the audible sounds of machine guns and stuff like that. So I guess what he was trying to say is I think they're in the top right, based on what I was describing there.
Yeah, if you have like stereo headphones going on, you'll hear it going off in one headphone. I've used this strategy too. It's kind of cheese, but
Yeah, but again, any team can do it, and the thing is, it sometimes can backfire because, say you're zoomed in over here. He has two starting Marines to the left, right? So if he's shooting stuff over here and you're like zoomed in, oh, I think he's over here. I hear gunfire, but really he actually put his base over here, over to the right. So it sometimes can work good. Sometimes it can actually backfire on you.
yeah, I think in this case it worked to his advantage because the attack Marines beelined it over. Like you can see it there, they took all the back wall outposts and went straight to join with the AM.
All right, so we're at turn 21. The wildlife is getting eaten up slowly here. Bases are going down. Expansions are getting taken. We're seeing crises, so it's gonna be a mixture of crew techs and crises. So Patuljak has changed a bit. Oh, so now we got armories going down for Patuljak. Yep, 2 armories right there. So he is not going monsters. So we're not going to see ghost kills or riptides this game. Again, we're going to see hammerheads and maybe late game sky rays. Over here, we got a hero building being produced. So that one's going to be done in the main. And I assume he's going to go Warp Smith again. Or maybe he decides to change it up and go early Chaos Lord. We'll see. Over on the Russian side, we can see some Hydras being produced. Tacticals are being crammed out. Third barracks is going to be dropping. I would like to see Devastators. I'm really hoping he switches to Devastators this game. And he's clearing this midpoint here with Chimera.
I'm very impressed they were able to take out that Umbra. That was some key teamwork.
Yeah. Well, Guardians is guardsmen are actually do fairly well against Umbras as just like chaff units because the Umbras do a lot of damage, but like to how many guardsmen in a group? I don't know. It's like 10, I think, right? So yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, finally they're gonna deal with this enslaver here. I guess they were just taking their time with it. So again, I feel the Russians, they do have a window where they could really punish Deimos or maybe even take out one of Deimos's bases if they push aggressively down to his base. The thing is, they don't see Deimos at this point. They don't know what's in the bottom right. But I feel like if they do manage to push effectively south quickly, they can get a 2 versus 1 on Deimos, which it'll be very hard for Deimos to fight off that.
Deimos was smart though to put all his bases low, right, to avoid that early rush.
Right. That was again, and these are little things that, in the grand scheme of things, can be huge, right? If Deimos put his base up here, You know, that's a lot easier for the forces in this area to hit, right? And sometimes it comes down to literally turns, right? Um, Maybe Deimos needs like 2 more turns to effectively reinforce Patuljak, and because his bases are further back, that allows Deimos to get there in time. So little things like this can add up in Gladius. A lot of times it's overlooked. A lot of new players tend to not pay attention to that and just throw bases out there, and they don't factor in that point of view, right? So I guess we're gonna see the Russians start to clear up the Umbras now that the Hydra's coming in, and got some Hornets to deal with. Again, we're seeing Hammerheads, probably from Tau player, but this game he changed it to Crisis with some Crew Hounds or Crew Techs. Chaos again is pretty much. Oh no, just okay. So Chaos did decide to switch it up here. He is going Chaos Lord first, so he might be thinking, might be an early captain again. I want to be able to punish that, so he is choosing to go Chaos Lord first. Also,
I think that's a good idea to
Yeah.
go Chaos Lord first. The Warpsmith is really good in the mech build, but it takes, really only need him for healing, so he's not too effectual on the board for a long time.
Right. I mean, Chaos seems to be a little more versatile in the early game because not only can he deal with the heroes, but say for base defense, even putting him in a base hex is really hard for the other team to deal with it, So
And all their buildings generate influence, so you can outfit those guys pretty toughly, or give them the bonus, like the icon or the scroll.
yeah.
I tend to just fit them full of all kinds of armor and health, just because I like seeing it on the guy. It's probably not the better strategy, but
You like to deck them out.
yeah, deck him out. I even give him what are those things? The Jokero rings. If I have the money for it, the influence for it. Make him his own little walking Death Star, and then he gets killed on turn 50 or something, and then I lose.
A fun fact: if you use the Anchor Blood, so Anchor Blood is the ability on Chaos Lord that does damage back to melee attacks. So if you Anchor Blood and an Avatar Arcane attacks a Chaos Lord, basically the Avatar Arcane dies. But he also kills the Chaos Lord, so it's like a double TKO. Which happened to me one game where I didn't know whether the Avatar King could survive a Blood Anchor from Chaos Lord. So I thought, why not test it out? And I killed the Chaos Lord, but then my full health Avatar King died instantly. So.
And then a fun fact: Bloated can resurrect a Chaos Lord even from the Ecor ability.
So that would have been really funny. Like the Avatar kills Chaos Lord kills Avatar from Anchor, but then gets bloated, then comes back to life.
This is why we love Gladius.
Did the developers intend that to happen? I don't know, but it sounds really cool. And apparently in Gladius, you can throw grenades at airplanes.
I've never attempted that. We should try.
Yeah. You can throw frag grenades at them.
I mean, I can see it sometimes. The guys in the Space Marines and Orcs, they have strong throwing arms.
Yeah. Going 500 miles per hour. Hey, let me throw a grenade.
Maybe you see it coming, you just lop it up. Think about the trajectory.
Maybe a helicopter, but
Yeah, makes sense. And it doesn't make sense.
so we're approaching turn 25. Turn 30 will be getting closer to that PvP gameplay. Right now, it's Gladius Wildlife gameplay right now. It's how good they are at effectively clearing the map, getting outposts, and figuring things out.
I mean, they did a pretty good job. They killed an Umbra with two transports and 4 starting units.
Yeah, very nice. So he's getting very close to the first outpost. So he has vision 3. 1, 2, 3. He does see. Okay, so I'm gonna explain this to people watching the stream here. He doesn't see like the full outpost, but he sees the outline of the outpost, if that makes any sense. So basically, even though he's not like fully in range of this outpost, he sees like the little like hint of the white in the darkness of the outpost. So at this point, the Russians do see the first outpost, and that's Patuljak's outpost.
Well, I think also Patuljak saw that cultist just lose all his morale, right? So they know something's nearby.
Oh yeah. Patuljak. Yeah. So on Patuljak's end, he sees all these demoralized creatures. Okay, so he knows, God, there's some units around here because they're killing crap. So it'd be interesting to see now. It looks like Deimos has now decided he needs to come to Patuljak. He has adventured way up here with that one Marine. But that one Marine is going to pay off because literally that one Marine is going to grab all these outposts that were cleared by the SM player. So that's going to be pretty nice for Deimos. Nice economy boost. So yeah, it does look Deimos is now says I got to get my butt over to my ally and prepare for this attack that's probably coming. So how many turns does Deimos have to get there in time? Well, with the transports, I think that's going to help. His build is a little bit more slower, so it's his army will get bigger and bigger as the game goes along. The Russians seem to have a pretty decent size at the moment. And did he get the Devastator tech? Yes, Devastator tech has been researched. And he's building those. Now, here's what I would do. The Russian player should bring back one transport to pick up this Devastator, just so you quickly get that Devastator to the front line. Or even make another transport, you know?
This is going to be a real challenge for the Chaos to come support the Tau. The Tau is going to be stuck in there if they attack. If the Russians attack right now. They're not going to be able to make it. He's not going to be because he has to go through.
He's got to go through so much.
Cliffs.
Yeah. Another thing too is what's sad too. Like they have up till turn 5 to ask for a re, but they used the re already. You only allow one re for the whole set, so they did decide to use the re on the first game, and I didn't think they had a bad start. In my opinion, I didn't think their start was horrible. But they chose to use the re. So now they played this game. They saw the river. They saw the cliffs. They probably had an opportunity to say, let's re. But they didn't. They didn't have the re anymore. So they're stuck on this map. It's definitely looking to favor the Russians so far. But we'll see how well the game plays out here.
Yeah, that hasty re may have...
It may have cost them because, I mean, if I was in this tournament, I'd be telling my teammate, hey, let's make sure we use this re if it's really, really bad. Like, if we're totally separated, we got river cliffs, let's re. You know, something like that. But you get a mediocre start or average start, you use your re, but then you get into a situation like this where this terrain, what we're seeing, might be the deciding factor of this game. We'll see. That the only saving grace I see though is he's got rhinos, and those are very quick units to move around the field. Cultists can deforest and make a pathway for his rhinos to kind of get there as quick as he can, but still he has to deal with these cliffs and rivers that you can't do anything about.
Someone was asking in the last game chat, and we didn't address it, about how important it is in multiplayer games to clear tiles. And well, you saw it in the last game. It let the Tau chase down the retreating Chaos and Space Marines, and in this game, it's going to let the Chaos make it to his opponent or his teammate on time. So it's very important. The high-level players, they clear a lot of forests.
Right, and because you got to remember, people in chat, that literally some battles, some games are decided by turns. Like this is a turn-based game, so you know, for instance, what Deimos looks to be doing is he's deforesting a pathway so that his troops can move effectively as quickly as possible to Patuljak. So little things like that do pay off because say he didn't, well, that would maybe make his reinforcements come there 2 turns less. And sometimes you have turns where the battle is decided by a turn, you know. So, you know, all these little things do add up in these high level games that we're watching right now. Again, the Russians are sort of clearing this area. It looks like they want to continue their way south. We'll see if they keep pushing. I assume that they will. And the armories are being produced by Patuljak. I assume we're going to see hammerheads fairly shortly. And so there's that timing window. The timing window is basically before the hammerheads come out. And that is the timing window that I feel like the Russians need to take advantage of. Or at least try to take advantage of. Because especially with the terrain that we talked about, this is best time for them to attempt this. All right,
looks like they're coming with a tank commander earlier this time too.
Right. Thanks for mentioning that. So really nice, and that will give them a little more punching power. You know, the tank commander definitely hits hard. So when you put concealed weapons, skull altar on him, Omni scope, he hits very hard for a hero, and he
can improve the damage of the hydras.
Right. He's gonna make the AM vehicle build a lot more. So I do like what the Russians have done. They definitely had to talk to each other, and they definitely have recalibrated sort of their builds here. So that's really cool to see that, you know, they're not just going with the same repeat build as last time. They're trying different strategy this game, and we'll see if it's going to pan out for them. Again, Deimos and Patuljak are very smart players, so they're definitely not going to let the Russians walk over them. But we'll see what's going to happen here.
Oh, looks like the Tau is going to try to help clear. That's a smart move.
Right, because I think what they probably have communicated is, okay, I see the enemy. He's on the outskirts of, you know, my territory. Let me help you, you know, let's clear away. Let's get these reinforcements that you're going to be sending to me, Deimos. So that's what they're doing here. Now, the real question is, how aggressive are the Russians going to be when they push down south here? Are they going to be cautious, which means they're going to take a few extra turns than normal to get down to the cities? Or are they going to be, you know, are they just going to beeline right to the cities? We'll see.
This is that risk-reward factor we see in Gladius so often. You know, the Tau is taking a risk going and helping to clear.
So here's my nitpick. Sorry for interrupting you, but I really want to see the Russian player at least have, you know, a transport to pick up these devastators, because that's going to make their push a lot more effective. But he's got a full transport here already. The other transport, I think, is way back here. So maybe his thinking is this one will catch up and eventually pick up these guys. But yeah, he's making these devastators do a march to the south, I guess. It looks like they put the third base down towards where Patuljak is. So that's going to make this siege warfare very dangerous for Patuljak, because they have a very strong area to run back to if needed, and then to recalibrate. So this is looking very scary for Patuljak.
Yeah, that full transport makes that army a little scarier than it first appears, but yeah.
And then he's also going for that third base, which is the newest base, which doesn't have a lot of hex tiles. And this is maybe why, Sky, you can elaborate why it's good to have many hex tiles when you're trying to defend a base.
Well, yeah, as each tile adds like a substantial bonus in defense to each one of your characters.
Right. So outposts give you like 17%, but on a base hex, you get even more than that. I think you get double. So it's and what happens is when you're base defending, you want to slow. Usually, what happens is you want to slow that advance onto your base, and the way to do it is to have troops in these base hexes because they're going to be harder to deal with, and it gives also the defender maybe a chance to counterattack because your units are well defended. It's gonna balance out that attack siege defense ratio. So
Not to mention the power that's coming out of the like you just can't leave a base alone. You have to go after it. So in the last game, what we saw was the um, the Russians, they were retreating, but they had nowhere to retreat to. Now this time they have a base. If they need to retreat, they can retreat to the base, and there's no way they can just let like the Patuljak and Deimos can't leave that base alone. They'll have to attack it, and that'll give them a lot more firepower and staying power.
Yep, true. So
yeah, there is a, like we were saying, you know, it's smart for the Tau to like have built their bases low so that they can avoid getting rushed, but it's also there are reasons to build a forward base. I do it a lot with Tyranid. I build a forward base, usually my second base, because that's the base that's going to be producing the most troops. So I can always rely on them being up close, and I can rely on them being able to defend a base that the enemy can't leave alone.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, the more hexes you have around a base, the easier it would be to defend it if you had to defend it. And in this case, like I said, this is his newest base, which doesn't have a lot of hexes. So again, this is almost ripe for the picking for their first engagement on a base. That's what you want to see. Going back, you can see Deimos is a very smart player. He knows that this team likes to forward expand together when there's a SM player on the other team. So he realizes that, and so he says, hey, okay, you're going to forward expand with your ally? Fine, go ahead, do that, but I'm going to go take all your outposts from you. So that's what he's doing basically with this one Marine, which is very smart because, I mean, it's just one Marine, but that one Marine is going to literally take 4 outposts I see right here. So that's a good move by Deimos. He's making the SM player kind of pay for that forward expand that he did. But again, it won't matter if this siege on this base is successful. So we have the Sentinel, we have a Scout. They see that the Stingwing's in there. It's got also the Skull Altar buff, so it will do some decent damage if something is brought forth. They do have Hydras to range 3 though, so I wonder if he's also trying to unlock Melta Bomb. All right, there is the troop that they must protect. Patuljak cannot deal with that. He has no units that can in the area to even deal with that, even if he wanted to. The Devastators are waddling their way like hobbits towards the expo. And like I said, I really wanted to see these Devastators in a transport to get them down there really quick. Again, can you imagine if he had these 2 Devastators next turn ready to go, ready to lock and fire? I mean, Patuljak's totally out of position. This base would probably be pretty much over. But now they sort of have to set up. They need time. They might go in next turn without the Devastators. But again, having the Devastators with the army is a lot more easier to siege this base. But we'll see. It's only 1 Stingwing in here. But again, Stingwings are very tough units to deal with when they're in cover or if they're in a base hex. They're not... they got 6 armor, which is pretty decent for infantry. And they've got 5 models.
There's that wireweed too, kind of blocking off the Tau from saving this base. This base is looking like it's in a little trouble. But you're right. If he had put those Devastators in a transport, like even if that other transport that's just kind of waddling around up there had come down with the Devastators, this base would be a goner already.
Yeah, the Russians would have been in a much better position. Now we do have one crisis that just, actually 2 crises that just popped out. They got birthed out and they're ready to go. They got fresh drones on them. We got fresh drones on that Fire Warrior. So, I mean, Patuljak has sort of got his cooldowns in play almost for all his units. But like I said, Deimos is not in position to help his ally here. It's basically going to be a 2 versus 1. So we'll see how well Patuljak can defend against this 2 versus 1. The Russians might delay. They might not aggressively push here, but it looks like
They might just harass the city a little bit with their hydras, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And then so Patuljak has to make a decision here. Does he try to aggressively counterattack the Russians, even though it's 2 versus 1? Or does he just play like defensively and just try to hold on to dear life here? So we'll see.
I think the smart play would be defensive, so I'm guessing that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that he has going for him right now, Patuljak, is he has some drones he can utilize to kind of slow down this push a little bit. But it might be too much. I mean, again, 2 versus 1s are very hard to deal with. And most Gladius games that when there's a 2 versus 1 involved, they usually don't end well for that person that's fighting off 2 players.
Yeah, for the one. Yeah, this is again another interesting fight.
So I'm gonna quickly jump into Deimos and Patuljak's voice pod just to hear what they're chatting about, and then I'll drop back to drop pod 3.
Can I build a 6? So.
All right. All right. So we're muted. We're in the voice pod of the Americans.
Okay.
Okay.
And it sounds like they're kind of aware of this force that's coming in.
I mean, I think it all depends on if they have enough firepower to gun down the city fast. Like, if they have...
Also, if they can gun down the west pit and take the tile this turn. Because if not, I can shield my XV8 and put them on the tile.
Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking if I want to build a 6 Infernal Fabricator, I should just build more ore. I don't think I will be able to produce 6. 1, 2, 3. No, not gonna be able.
I wonder if I should double down in my second city on the barracks, since I'm probably losing my third.
All right, Scout Center coming in. Used up his ability already, so, but he ate the Overwatch. I assume they're gonna come in with the transport here. Now, this could be, again, this is a ballsy play by the Russians. They don't have perfect intelligence that I have. I see everything. So they don't know if Deimos is actually here or not. They have no idea that this is so bad right now in here.
Really stops them from going into this position. So yeah, I will have 6 slotted lords, 6 5 slotted lords. Just need to hold on.
I'm doing my best.
Ooh. He's gonna get overwatched by the crisis. That's not good.
Hydras.
So Russians kind of went the wrong way with the transport. Overwatch from Recruit Riders. And you got Crisis. So whatever comes out of this, yeah, it's gonna get lit up here. Oh.
That's fun.
So very yeah, they gotta deal with the Stingwing in the city though.
That was fun.
Maybe disband the guards. Yeah, okay, they disband the guardsmen.
Okay, that's not so fun.
So yeah, I mean Patuljak is getting a lot of
They
value.
didn't shoot with the loaded Chimera. That's a mistake.
Oh, and they didn't shoot with the low Chimera. Exactly. So yeah, they're noticing mistakes by the Russians.
I don't think they can kill the West.
No, they cannot. Which is funny.
Maybe. No, not really. Awesome.
If they had something in that transport, they would have got more
Shield
attacks from the
Crisis
Chimera.
on the tile. And in 2 turns, if they don't hurt the city, I get this tile,
Again, if they had these Devastators in place,
which is great.
they would be doing a lot
I
more.
wish I just had something to put on the ore, but oh, I can do a drone. Yeah.
All right, so the drones are probably going to flood out next turn. I mean, it's still, like I said, it's a 2 versus 1 at this point. But like the positioning is favored for Patuljak, but that doesn't mean Patuljak's going to win this fight. It just means that
Okay.
he's in a good position to at least do some counter damage here. All right, so it looks like they're probably doing their economies first, and then they're going to decide on their movements here. Well, it's pretty much just Patuljak deciding. It's his army over here. All right, so first drone is out. What is he? He's going to clear the zone off that, and then he's... Oh, I thought he's going to move it into the base hex. So the crisis goes into base hex.
Shield the crisis. Don't
Yeah,
forget the shield.
All right, so shielding the crisis. Very good move by Patuljak. Okay, this is very good expert defense here. So he's going to shroud the...
You can move shield drone on the river to
Yeah,
save it for the next turn.
He's going to shroud this, which
I mean,
makes it harder to kill.
Can, but
Put it here, and I believe they're going to kill either
I can do a little
this
bit
unit
of
or
this,
this unit. So we'll see what happens.
But I guess
shield the city. You can shield the city as well. I think that makes some sense.
what?
You can shield the city with a drone, maybe, possibly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's better than a gun drone. Definitely. Let's do that this way then.
All right, so he shields the city, which is really good.
At least Art's changes made you use shield drones, and they aren't terrible.
And then he's going to go into the base hex, and what does he want to kill here? Looks like it's going to be the salt marine right here. All right, so the Russians have lost 2 units already. Actually, 3 units. The
Okay, that's all I can do.
disbanded guardsmen and 2 marines. So again, but this is still 2 versus 1. But yeah, big blow for the Russians. They're really, like I said, I think the big factor was they really needed to get these devastators. If you had these devastators in place, they could whack this crisis no problem.
The fire warrior there.
So
That was a mistake.
like I said, I mean, where our guy mentioned you had this, you know, transport up here. It could have been maybe used to ferry these devastators. So I'm going to jump back to drop pod 3. All right, I'm back. Yeah, they're pretty happy. I mean, Patuljak is pretty happy with the situation so far. The Russians lost 3 units last turn.
Yeah, it all came down to where he moved that Chimera. I don't know. I guess he just didn't have like any scouting to know that there was units that were just built. But yeah, that Chimera move, putting it into the wireweed and forcing him to disband units in order to be able to, because he thought like if he had left that Chimera full, it would have been killed full of units.
Yeah, and then you've got this shrouded crisis suit. It's getting so much value in that spot here.
No, they're continuing the attack, it looks like.
Yeah. But like I said, I was saying in their drop pod, like these devastators would have been so crucial. Like if they were here with the army, at least they could take out these crisis no problem. But
Right. Like imagine they had been set up right behind those guardsmen there, and the crisis suits move in there, they would have lost a unit already, and then would have saved their other attack unit.
yeah, so the Russians have to delete this battle suit. They need to get into that base hex. Like if they don't get into that base X, the siege is actually going to fall apart, even though it's a 2 versus 1. Okay, so mission accomplished. They got into the base X. Okay, so they needed that. Again, I mean, Patuljak is not out of the clear just yet. I mean, like, this is a 2 versus 1 we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
That was very aggressive. Oh, that was a bad over. I mean, that was bad for the Russians. I mean, yeah, he did some damage to the Hound, but he's probably gonna lose that Hydra. So
they're losing a lot of troops these couple turns, and this is pretty early on. I think that Hydra would have been better. Maybe taking out another drone. By the looks of it, looks like Deimos is going to have a chance to catch up.
all right, I had to step out for a minute, but I'm back. Yeah, so looks like Patuljak is doing his counterattack. Killed the Hydra like we expected. Oh, also killed the Shamira.
Yep, and Deimos is making his way over. It looks like a failed assault.
Yeah, I mean, the Devastators would have been awesome, but just did not make it in time.
It was a good representation of what you were just talking about, how, you know, holding that base tile, even just one base tile, was enough to hold back the assault.
Right. I mean, just think if they had a unit in that base tile, the crisis couldn't go into that base tile, you know. But yeah, so
yeah, shielded and base tile, like that's some stacking damage reduction.
all right, so we're gonna see the Devastator finally set up here, one of them. But the Russians are losing troops, even though this is 2 versus 1. They're getting blasted by Patuljak's defenses. Like, now that's shielded. The Scout Sentinel does not do enough damage to finish it. A builder drone is coming out next turn, so they really need to find a way to deal with it. But you got these scout drones, or these drones zoning you out here. Okay, I didn't see that. Yep. You are more clever than me. Okay, so that was a good move by the Russians. They deleted that. You got it at some point in the game. You got to delete the tile units because that builder drone will just heal them back up to full. It's kind of like when you're sieging a Tyranid player. You leave one of those termagants or one of those lictors alive, it will just run back, sacrifice itself, and then get a fresh new one out.
Or healed by the Turbogun.
Exactly. But you're noticing, even though Patuljak has played very good defensively here, you're just seeing the raw power of two players ganging up on one player. Even though the Russians are getting them handed a bit by Patuljak, it's just the overflowing of two players together. It's too much. But let's see, can Patuljak still fight this? He really needs Deimos' forces badly, but again, Deimos cannot get there in time. He's being zoned out by the enslaver right now, so he has to waste some time just dealing with. And then you got Wireweed blocking him right here, so this is just looking really bad for Patuljak. If the Russians keep pouring troops in here,
it was a good move to bring them around the other side of the base, right? Kind of opens up their lines of fire.
Yeah. Now, the wild card for Patuljak is in 3 turns he will have a hammerhead, but it's only 1 hammerhead. I don't know if that's going to be enough to change his defense outcome here. The Chaos Lord is trying to make his way to his base, but again, the terrain is just terrible. And I don't know if the Russians realize how bad that the Chaos player has it right now. Maybe they have second thoughts and they retreat. Probably not. It looks like they're very committed here. They're going to have 2 Devastators hitting the city probably. And the question is, can Patuljak still do what he's got to do with 2 cities? So I think what will happen, if I have to make predictions here, this 3rd city will go down, but then the Chaos player will be in time to defend the 2nd city. Now, the real question is, can the American team hang in there and repel this attack and then eventually win the game? With the Tau player being down to 2 cities, that time will tell. But I'm pretty sure this 3rd city will go down if the Devastators can get their time to shine here. Although looking at it, the Russians are running out of forces. They're hemorrhaging units here.
Yeah, I think with the hemorrhaging of units, the Tau aren't actually out of the fight if they lose that city, right? They're going to lose a few more units trying to take the city, and then they'll have to retreat. They just have to. And
okay, look at that. 4 tacticals coming in from a Chimera. That might. I think the 3rd city, if this group comes in there in time, yeah, they'll be able to do it. But you're right. It's an ugly siege. It's not a pretty siege by the Russians. They're losing way too many units, and it's a 2 versus 1, which is crazy. So,
but it is worth it to take the city. Like, I mean, if yes, you lose a lot of units, but you cripple them, set them back. They lost a lot of resources from just the building the city and all the cost of the buildings, right? But it is their 3rd city, so they will be able to recover from it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think if the Americans, it looks like they're going to lose probably the 3rd Tau city. That doesn't put them out of the game, though. It does not. I mean, it severely cripples them a little bit, but like I said, it's not an instant GG just taking the 3rd city. It's more of they put salt in the wound type of thing, like, because he has these are the oldest 2 cities, right? And they've got their armories, they got their barracks, so he's still going to be pumping up lots of troops, Patuljak. All right, so the Russians are pouring in here. Again, this transport of 4 units. You got the Devastators setting up, 2 Devastators setting up. The city does really good damage to Devastators, so I assume Patuljak will target one of the Devastators, maybe to lower the model, the open one, just so it doesn't do as much damage. So the Russians have to protect these Devastators. If they can't afford for these Devastators to get deleted, they need to make sure that they're safe. because next turn they're going to be doing lots of damage. The city is shielded. You're probably wondering why. Well, that didn't do that much damage, because he's got to take care of these shield drones. They're well, that's gone next turn, and then you got one more shield. That's gone. Okay, so it kind of looks like he has one more fresh shield drone he can apply. So the Russians need to figure out. They need to stop these shield drones from doing that, though. So it looks like they're really contemplating their moves, because they haven't really done any major moves here besides the Devastator.
That was a really big brain play, applying the shield drones to the city like for the last 3 turns.
Yeah.
You know, just stops them from just ripping the city apart, and the city does so much damage back to these troops that it's this is a good move. I like this a lot. But not for nothing, the tank commander's on his way, right? And he does have a movement ability, so he can be...
Oh, yes. So he can actually pump that Chimera and Hydra, make it get there even quicker. Yeah, I didn't see that. But I gotta say, like, Deimos, he has put up a really good defense. I mean, considering this is 2 versus 1 right now, he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, excellent job. Lesser players would have quit by now.
All right. Will we see a forward bastion put down? Time will tell. Okay, so he does what you said. He's going to get the movement buff, and that will put him into... He has range 5... Oh, no, range 4 movement next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he's not quite at the city next turn, but he can kind of unload a lot of stuff if he wants. The Hydra will be in position to do something. Okay, so pretty soon the first Hammerhead's going to come out. And then you're going to have Chaos reinforcing the Tau player. So, again, my prediction... Oh, and he's clearing forests. Again, like I said, there was a suggestion, is that even good in PvP? So, yeah, no, definitely well worth it. Deimos has cleared a lot of forests to make it a lot quicker for him to reinforce. Okay, so we got some action here. He is moving Fire Warriors. He does not want to lose this third city, it looks like. I don't know if... I kind of feel like, okay, my point of view is maybe just give up on this city so that you don't lose. Like, I feel like Patuljak will probably lose these Fire Warriors if he's not careful. And then I don't even know if he's going to save the third city. So let's see if that's going to pay off for him or not. It looks like he wants to save the city.
I think just keeping the city alive with the shield was the better plan. Because now he's going to lose his main force.
All right, so that was expected to go for the Devastator. He still has one fresh, fully healed Devastator ready to go. I assume he's going to put down a shield drone with this one to shield it up again. And he wants to get that Marine out of there. Yep, shield drone again. So very good play by Deimos from Patuljak. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough to save the city, because you've got this transport of 4 tacks coming in. And I assume Melt-A-Bomb is right around the corner, coming up soon. My worry for Patuljak is he might end up losing a bunch of these troops here.
Yeah, that's my concern too. I think he did a lot shielding up the city, and I think that should have just been the more, like, just kept keeping that while keeping his troops back and waiting for Deimos to get there, right? If he lost the city, he lost the city, but I don't think he's going to save the city, but now he's going to end up losing a chunk of his force.
And again, it's a third city just with 1 armory, so it's not... the lucky part for Patuljak, it's not one of his older cities with more resources and more production buildings. And if you're going to lose, a city, the best city to lose is your newest one, which is the target, the one that they're targeting.
It's kind of awesome to watch both Deimos with his reinforcements coming in transports and the Chimera coming with its transport. They're gonna clash around the same time.
Yeah.
All down to like a single turn, like who gets there
Yeah.
first. You know?
Again, and that goes back. I was saying like a lot of times this turn-based PvP, it's down to turns. Like you'd be surprised how many times. Oh, if I just had this unit in this place this turn, I would have won the battle. And sometimes that does happen. But here we go. The Russians are going to make their move. So how much? 8.9 damage on the first Devastator, 6.2. So even with shielded, the Devastators are doing pretty decent damage. But I think the Americans do not want to give up this third city. They're really trying. Melted Bomb is researched and done. So like I said, it was just a matter of time, I believe, that the city would go down. I didn't think there was enough time to save it. Now, the Russians aren't going for the Fire Warriors, which I thought maybe... Okay, maneuvers a guard there.
It makes sense to take down the city, you know, instead of the Fire Warriors, because they want to stop that city from shooting back on them.
Yeah. No, yeah, come to think of it, yeah.
And you get the eco boost.
All right.
Not eco.
So he's positioned a Chimera there. He's got 4 movement next turn, which means he can get go into these spots if he wants to unload. So he wants to kind of hide it, I assume. He doesn't want them to know, because maybe they put Patuljak defends this even more, and then he brings in this transport to finish off his troops, maybe. All right, so it's the Americans' turn, and Deimos is basically almost there. He does transport the Chaos Lord into the fresh Rhino. He can't take the Rhino, he can't take the Chaos Lord out this turn because he moved it already. I assume he's going to take this protected hex in the city. That's going to give him the ability to alpha strike within the transport next turn if he goes there. Stingwing is making moves. I think oh yeah, they do want to kill that one Devastator squad. It looks like they need a little bit more damage. He's demoralizing it. Yep. And there he goes. Boom, dead. And then the city will then take a model off the other Devastator. And I think they... does Patuljak try to save the city? That's the real question. Is he going to commit the forces more? He doesn't see this transport of 4 tacticals, though. That's...
Yeah, that transport's going to make or break this battle. And I wonder, is the Chaos Lord enough to save the city? I don't know.
I think the Chaos Lord is 1 turn too short.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it literally came down to 1 turn to save the city, and I think the Chaos Lord was 1 turn too late. He did shield it up again, but again, melted bombs should be enough damage to the city. Does he move the builder drone to heal it? It looks like he is going to move the builder drone, which could be devastating for Patuljak, because this transport's going to come in and he can unload it and kill the builder drone and the crew hound. So
if it saves the city, it's worth it. If it doesn't,
right,
I don't know.
Exactly. This is going to be very close. This is a big turn for the Russians coming up, because if they kill the city, then they most likely will kill all these troops behind the city. If that happens, we'll see. But the Russians are beat up. The wild card is this transport, and we'll see what it's doing. He's got to move this injured Hydra back, heal it. I like for him to put his transport here so that he can get the builder drone. And killing the builder drone will demoral them a bit, so I think that's good.
Yeah, it's an easy kill, smart kill. Yeah, they don't know about that transport. I mean, if they did, because it looks like they're gonna successfully save the city now. But
Yeah, it looks like in their point of view with the vision that they have, they're probably patting themselves on the back like, yeah, we did it. We saved your city. Little do they know you got this Alpha Strike transport incoming. And yeah, just like I said, you move back to Hydra. So that they're not going for the builder drone here. Okay. So they're going for the city. It's got shielded. That's why these melted bombs aren't doing that much damage. Maybe get the morale back before you shoot with the Devastators. No, they didn't do that. The 2 Hydras should be enough. Okay. Alright, so they did kill the city. Now, I think the Russians should retreat at this point. You got Hammerhead coming out. Crisis coming out. Deimos is now here. They need to retreat, but let's see if they choose to do that next turn. Deimos is going to make them pay with the Chaos Lord, because they don't. The only thing they have to deal with the Chaos Lord is that Devastator, but that Devastator's down 1 unit, 1 model. Oh, you got a tank commander coming in, but it's naked tank commanders. It's not going to do that much damage to a Chaos Lord that is itemed up. So, real interested to see how aggressive Deimos is with this Chaos Lord in the transport.
it might be the right time to keep the pressure on, right? Like they don't have to push the next city, but you know, they just did lose all of Patuljak's troops, right? So
yeah, well he lost a lot of troops, but he is getting 2 more crises next turn and a Hammerhead, so that's gonna be refilling him here. Wow, okay, they're really committing to the push here. So fresh Hammerhead comes out. Deimos does make a move. They're pushing. They're upset about that 3rd base going down. There was no, not even a pause. He moved that thing right in. But Deimos' whole army isn't all here. It's his Alpha Striking Chaos Lord that's here, with a couple troops.
yeah, the Chaos Lord's tough, but he's not unbeatable.
All right, so he's got bracers, he's got vests. Okay, so he's more like a tank Chaos Lord right now. He doesn't have concealed on. We see. Ooh, Overwatch. I don't know if they saw that Overwatch, if they paid attention to it. Drone goes there. What are they doing with the Chaos Lord though? Okay, maybe. Okay, they want to delete this and then move the Chaos Lord out, but I don't think they have the damage. They don't have the damage to delete that. Oh, I think they misplayed. I see what they're trying to do. Do you think they have enough damage to get rid of this?
I'm on a bit of a delay, man.
Okay.
Yeah, the Discord didn't work again.
Oh shit. All right, so they're going for this tactical marine, and I know what they're trying to do. They want the Chaos Lord to go into that spot so that it can one-shot maybe a Hydra. They demoraled it now. It is enough. Okay, so they didn't misplay here, but they can't demoral the vehicle because they used the top player used their demoral. All right, so he's probably going to go for the tacticals that are full health here. We got tank commander coming in. Okay, no. And they killed a transport with a marine. Okay, so that was a very good play by the American team. Now you got no transports left to get your marines out of there. So I think what the Americans are probably thinking is, let's just kill this whole siege force and then go on to push the AM base that's above you.
Yeah, that was a very good play, like an all or nothing play.
I
Take it out.
thought, yeah, I thought, oh no, they're not going to get the Chaos Lord out. This is not good. But I forgot he had the hammer. No, they had enough damage apparently because they demoralized it. Yeah, not looking good for the Russians. Even though they took the city down, they could lose this whole force here.
Yeah, the investment was high. It looks like the Chaos Lord wasn't in time to save the city, but he was in time to push back the rest of the force.
All right, so here's the thing. Oh, this Chaos Lord is actually okay. I didn't see the items it had underneath the item list here when it was in the transport. What? He's gonna try for the Chaos. No, he's demoralized. He doesn't have enough. No, there's no way. Oh, this is a gutsy move by the Russians. But is this their only option? They have no transports. Yeah, I guess they have to fight this out. Okay, looks like they're gonna go after the Fire Warriors. Good play. Get those out of the field. You kill the army, surround the Chaos Lord, and maybe you got the Chaos Lord dead. We'll see. They need to deal with the Hammerhead though.
Yeah, they gotta deal with the Hammerhead, but it does look like they the Tau have just replaced the city with a Chaos Lord.
Yes, the new thing is, can they kill the Chaos Lord? But the Chaos Lord does some scary damage. It's a very good unit right now for the American team. Okay, so I like that they got rid of the Fire Warriors because that's good for the Russians. But the Builder Drone, is the Builder Drone still alive? Yeah. Okay, so that's another problem for the Russians, is the Builder Drone is going to heal the crisis. So what are these Hydras going to go for? Oh, I guess the crisis would be one target because they delete it.
Yeah, the Chaos Lord and the Hammerhead. It's a good. That's like
Okay.
we
Okay. So
get to kill anything combo.
So this is interesting. What the Americans could do here is he could run back that Chaos Lord in the transport and then get the hell out of here. And I think that's what he will do actually. It's too bad they couldn't zone that transport so it couldn't run away, because I mean, it looks like the Chaos Lord would die if it was trapped here. I mean, it would go down swinging, but there's so many units here. I don't think it could survive. All right, so what are the Americans going to do? I assume they're going to retreat back into the base hex in the transport. But you have Melt-A-Bomb. You have a Melt-A-Bomb Marine here. 1, 2, 3. No, it can't reach the transport. What would you do in this situation, Wire Sky? You got a fully itemized Chaos Lord. You don't have an army really to fight here, though.
Yeah, with no army supporting, like it's tempting to try to use the Chaos Lord to destroy, a couple tanks and that, but they will catch up with you. You know, once the Chaos Lord's like it takes turns for him to kill things, right? And you need the Hammerhead to support it. The Hammerhead's going down. I don't know if it already has on the delay.
Yeah, and you got a Hammerhead that's demoralized, so it's not going to do anything this turn unless somehow they can get the morale back, which means the Chaos Lord would have to fight.
Yeah, this is their best chance to get the Chaos Lord out of there and get back to that first city and protect it.
Okay, it looks like they want to hold this like tower area. I mean, it's well, wow. Yeah, they just deleted a Marine squad. Okay, they're gonna use that Rhino as a zoner. It looks like, to kind of make sure that Chaos Lord isn't trapped. That's what it looks like. Did he go after the one with the Melt-A-Bomb? I'm not sure if he did, because this one has Melta and this one has Melta. This one, I don't know if it used its Melta already.
Yeah,
Now
well,
he's got another Devastator coming down. Yeah, you need to get more Devastators because, like you said, these Muller Fiends are going to start appearing, and you need a lot of firepower to bring those things down.
yeah, the Devastators have already proven their worth against the city, so
All right, so interesting play. You put a Crisis into a Rhino. Okay, well, these Rhinos have Dirge. People watching the stream, Dirge basically makes it so when the Rhino goes within 1 hex of an Overwatch unit, it doesn't Overwatch. So it's pretty effective for alpha striking. Oh, and he's gonna get the HP relic from him, cause he'll just go here and grab the HP relic. So a bit of a misplay by the SM player with the tower placement. If he would have put the tower right here, he would have got the resources and he would have had the HP relic secured. Because he didn't do that, Deimos is gonna grab the HP relic from him next turn, which will make killing Rhinos and his Chaos Lord even harder. Very aggressive push here. Very aggressive. So it looks like they want to trap the Chaos Lord. Kinda. That's what it looks like.
I'm really liking the play of that one Chaos Marine. Just clearing that corner over there.
Yeah, I mean, especially... And I would laugh if this 10% HP saves the Chaos Lord. I would laugh so hard if it does. Yeah, 16 health right now. So very crucial decisions here tactically for the Russian players, also for the American players. This is what Gladius is all about, is knowing, do I have an advantage? They do see a transport of a Crisis over here. Now they have the tank commander, but remember, this is a shielded Rhino, so it's not your normal Rhino in the open. I do think they have enough damage, perhaps. Or maybe they don't. No, I'm looking at the damage. Yeah, it's not enough. They don't have enough damage. If this was not shielded, they would have enough damage to bring this Rhino down. So it looks like they're going to try to trap the tank commander here. I think they're going for this Rhino here. But the problem is the Chaos Lord is trading so well against these Marines. Like, he just does so much damage. Oh, they are going for the Hammerhead in the city. Very nice play, actually. That was even... I didn't even see that. I should have paid attention. Okay, so good job by the Russians. They looked for a weakness and they found it.
It just doesn't seem like a weakness. A Hammerhead in the city is usually pretty safe. But I'm guessing it didn't put its Jink on, or?
It was demoraled from the last battle. So it was taking like 33% more damage, which basically made the base defense irrelevant.
Yeah, and because I'm on the delay, I can see it. It had its Jink on cooldown. It didn't Jink.
Yeah, Wiresky, try refresh your YouTube page. That probably will speed you up to the live stream, maybe.
The live stream is delayed.
Okay. So I think what happened is when I went into the Discord drop pod with Deimos and Patuljak, and then I tried to come back to drop pod 3 and put my live stream, I think that's when it froze up, I believe. But it was working in the early stages of the game, right?
No, I was stuck on your loading screen, like you guys were choosing the teams.
Oh crap! Yeah, I don't know why. It could be. Actually, I have no clue. Maybe I need to update my Discord or something. I don't know why it's causing that.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't want to interrupt the stream about it. It's no big deal.
Okay.
I'm still getting to watch all this awesome action on the YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Because it's we're seeing lots of choices that they're deciding to do, and we're sitting back in the in the back seat, making comments and everything. So
I see Deimos has renamed some of his units.
yes,
It's entertaining choices.
yes, this is definitely not a PG-13 stream here. We've got some interesting nicknames for units. Okay, looks like they want to bring down a Hydra, and they were successful. Now, he's moved that Chaos Lord up. A Devastator could get into position next turn to do some damage, but they need to kind of... The problem is they can't keep that Chaos Lord pinned down. That's the problem. Too bad they don't have a stun grenade.
The stun grenade. That's a powerful artifact.
Yeah, it's hard with the Lifesteal Chaos Lord, because he's going to be whacking you, gaining a little bit of life black. Plus, you got the bloated technology, so if he wipes out a squad, there's a good chance he gets his full health back.
Has he marked the Chaos Lord?
He's give it Nurgle, and he has Nurgle with the HP relic from the SM player because he didn't position his tower properly. So he's an extra buffed up Chaos Lord.
Yeah, concealed weapons, healing. He has a health package. It's a one-man army lord.
Yeah.
Although he didn't, honestly, it was a good move, him moving it back a little bit so he didn't get zoned, but still kept it close to the, close enough to the enemy that he was able to tear apart all those tacks over the few turns. And looks like he's braved the wave of tack marines.
I mean, the Russians are doing a good job, like, killing the army, but it's like they don't have an answer, really, for this Chaos Lord. They don't have the critical mass of Devastators. They don't have a stun grenade. So it's very awkward for them right now. It's kind of like the elephant in the room, like, oh god, there's a Chaos Lord that can one-shot Hydras almost, and almost one-shot Marines, but they can't do anything about it. If they did retreat back, Wire Sky, they could regroup, form that critical mass of Devastators, perhaps. Can they get this other Rhino off the battlefield? Looks like they might be able to do it.
Yeah, remember you said, like, as soon as they took down that city, it might have been a good idea for them to back off. Like, they had done some crippling work to the Tau economy. They could have moved back. I don't know exactly what they're building in their city now, but it would have been more Devastators at least.
Yeah.
And like, outmassed the opponent for the second push.
But this is a slugfest. I mean, we're seeing units getting deleted every turn.
Yeah, on both sides. And it is taking longer for Deimos to get his reinforcements into the fight too, right? So that's playing a factor as well. I'm not sure if continuing to build the crisis suits is the right move by the Tau. They're getting ripped apart by Hydras.
All right, so the chaos reinforcements are trickling in slowly. And it looks like the Chaos Lord is going to manage to get back to the second base of Tau. It's been shielded, so good luck trying to deal with that. Yeah, that shield combo from Tau drones is very powerful. You can even put that on your teammates' units, so very good ability.
I heard Deimos say that they improved it for the mod. What's the shield?
I think in vanilla you were only allowed to put the shield on vehicles or Tau units. I don't know. I don't think you could put it on everything.
But it's still just the 17% invulnerability.
Was it range ability? I can't. You know, to be honest with you, I don't remember the exact vanilla version of it.
It just seems weird because I thought that that Chaos had already had invulnerability.
They do, but I think the shield uses. Let me look at it. Chaos. So I think Dark Glory 2 is a different type of invulnerability damage. So I'm not. I think it does stack with it because it's a different invulnerability trait, and it's called Dark Glory 2. So it doesn't use the same trait. I don't know.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Actually, if anybody in the chat that knows if it does stack or does not, let us know because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, just because it says minimum 20% invulnerability damage. So I don't think that stacks. It's just both of them are minimums, right? So giving him the shield doesn't really improve his
Right.
defense.
That could be the case. That could be the case, yes. All right, so it's the Russians' turn. Do they retreat or do they still keep pushing here? Well, the Hellbrute is has arrived. Honestly, I wouldn't feel bad as the Russians to retreat and regroup because, look, you killed one of Tao's cities, okay? That's great. Tau is not a 3-city Tau. You're now dealing with a 2-city Tau. So they can kind of, you know, regroup, take map control, figure out their strategy. The thing is, the Chaos Hero is going to get weaker and weaker as the game goes on because there's going to be more units on the battlefield. Right now, the Chaos Lord is doing a lot of... okay. So it looks like they're going for a Chaos Lord snipe here, but I don't think it's enough damage. I think they're going to be short. I don't think they have enough damage here. These Devastators have to move, which means you're not getting the full damage.
Oh, we were wrong before. Maybe they will get it.
Wow. It literally came down to those two Marines. These two model Marines. Yeah, wow, that was a good... Okay, that might be game, guys. We might be going into the final match. I'm not saying the game's over, but that was a big move by the Russians. They deleted a level... Was it a level 5 Chaos Lord? And fully itemized.
Level 4.
Level 4, okay. Very big play. That was huge.
Two little Marines from not even rapid fire range. They get this
So again, going back to people that think not every unit counts, here's a good example. You got just two models here, and they literally were the deciding factor of that Chaos Lord snipe. So
yeah, so now Tau has lost a city and a fully completed Chaos Lord. It's not looking good.
So I'm going to quickly go into the American drop pods, see what their reactions are. It's probably not good.
on. I can heal up this.
All right, so we're in the Deimos and Patuljak drop pod. They're pretty quiet. Feels very somber right now. I mean, they just lost the Chaos Lord. I don't think they're happy about that one bit. Deimos still has a very good economy, good production. It looks like they're not giving up. They're still in this fight. Again, well worth it to lose one unit here when you snipe fully itemized level 4 Chaos Lord. Again, very quiet. They're not really talking too much, so I think they're that was a wake-up call for them, losing the Chaos Lord. We'll see what their plan is, if they have a plan. They haven't discussed it yet. I'm sure the Russians are quite happy with that Chaos Lord snipe. He is not going a Warpsmith. It does not look like it. It looks like it was a fully itemized Chaos Lord to help swing the battle, and they put a lot of emphasis. Deimos put a lot of emphasis on that, and it got taken out. It did do a lot of damage, though. Now, can the American team bounce back from this? Well, they sure can. But like I said, this map terrain is so bad for the Chaos player. It's just taking forever for his troops to reinforce, where you have reinforcements coming in a lot quicker from the other team. All right, Devastators are being set up. Again, not too much talk. I'm in the American channel here. I'm not hearing any communications from both of them. So I can imagine they're not having a good time right now.
Well, an XV8 is coming out here.
Okay, we got a robot produced. Looks like he wants to get that HP relic back. You know what would have been funny if that Chaos Lord survived with 1 HP? Then you could technically say he survived because of this HP relic. But no, the Russians did have enough power on the table there. So we'll wait for Patuljak and Deimos to do their turn, see if they have any interesting things to say during their turn. Looks like you got Tank Commander coming in, taking a swipe.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
He's got builder drones to repair.
I can heal that up.
You got Molar Fiend, Halbrutes. So it's pretty aggressive by the Russians here. They're very aggressive.
I need tiles, but I had to build other stuff.
I think the Americans are going to counterattack here.
Okay. Looks like Space Marines and more Hydras there.
2 Marines and 1 Hydra.
So I guess one XV8 has to go here. The other here.
He doesn't seem to be shielding his guys for some reason. Maybe
Shielding
he
his
will.
what?
Devastators. Probably he will, but
Yeah, if he doesn't, you can kill some. But we have to. Yeah, I guess you can use the cultists.
really? Oh, well. And I've got a Fire Frenzy because, of course, I've got a fucking Fire Frenzy.
Oh,
It's not so bad. You can just continue to stand on the tile and do some damage.
Or I can go and fuck Hydra.
All right.
1 second. 13.8 and 11.8. It's enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
And I can maybe demoral and shoot.
Wait.
I could go kill the tech priests with the XV8, but I'm not sure it's worth it.
No, probably better to kill Hydra, I think.
Yeah, so I guess the tank has to go here actually.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think we need a demoral, do we? 9.5 and
No, you don't.
8.2. That's 12.
You don't even need to restore morale.
We actually need it to do it in 3 shots.
No.
Yeah, with the city, the Hellbrute, and the XV8, and the tank. Sorry.
No, I think you should. Oh, I thought you will go with those crises there.
No. I want to save
Okay,
those
fine.
crises maybe. I don't know.
Okay, fine. Sure. Why
Because
not?
that's in dev range.
Sure. Okay. This
Okay.
is.
That's more.
All right, so they're demoralizing the Hydra so that they can get enough kill power here. Nice. So the Americans are fighting back here. They're
Well,
not.
the XV8 can go kill the tech priests, but they will get killed in return. But I can shield them. I think it's worth it. Do you agree?
Not sure.
So I can shield them.
Not sure if they're the worst Dex priests. But
Well, I could just use it on the tacticals and maybe go to a safer position.
where is the position? Oh, that position.
22.9. I think that's.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
And put the shield drum back, I think. I wanted to leave a little bit. And then I can kill city.
All right, so I'm back in drop pod 3.
Yeah, looks like the American team's putting up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, now you're starting to see the higher tech units come out now. Muller Fiends are out. We got some Hellbrutes. His tank count will be increasing. You got another Hammerhead coming out. But the Russians still have some presence here. They still have some troops. Although I feel like it's starting to... they're starting to get pushed back a bit. I feel like the Russians... level 5 tank commander, that's pretty nice. He's got to be careful, though, because these Muller Fiends do a lot of damage.
Right, especially if they demoralize it. I mean, that's a lot of influence, but it could happen.
I think the safe play for the Russians is say, hey, okay, we did our damage. We killed the Chaos Lord. We killed the city. Let's fall back. Let's regroup. Let's rearm our forces. And let's challenge them when we're ready to challenge them.
I think the Russians are trying to demoralize the players, right? They want to take enough away from the players that they say GG.
Right.
Because
That could be
they're worried about what the chaos can produce.
Right, and they know from the last game, Deimos has very, very good production. So, all right, some more troops coming in slowly. Robot is doing a battle for the relic here, which will probably take a few turns for it to get. Whoa. Okay, they're going for the Hellbrute, it looks like. Should have enough damage here with Devastators. But, I mean, this is It's in the base, 33% damage reduction. So you got to melt a bomb, but it's cliffed. I don't know if the Russian players saw that. There is a orange cliff thing, which means he cannot melt a bomb this Hellbrute. Okay, I guess it does run over, but that does not do enough damage to kill it. All right, looks like you're gonna get the help. So kind of a misplay there. He should have waited maybe for the Hellbrute to die and then do the run over just to get a little bit more damage, but okay, so seems like the Russians' mantra is to attack, 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 attack.
Yeah, I know. We've mentioned it in the past 2 games, like at least 15 times, that they should. Oh, maybe the best play here is to fall back, but they just don't do that. Just not the way
Yeah,
play.
they stand your ground. Yep. Okay, so now these Mauler fiends are gonna start to do some business. I assume they're gonna try to pin the tank commander down. Okay, you got some more units coming out from the Tau player. So you got 2 hammerheads now. Still not close to near the hammerhead count he needs to really do a lot of damage, but once you get 3 to 4 to 5, then it starts to pile on. You got artillery coming out now, so that's gonna be very effective against these crises. It looks like it's just 1 artillery because he's going Hydras. Let's take a look at these economies. So you got AM 75 ore per turn. He does not have the ore edict, which is confusing because that's a very good edict to boost your ore. He has nothing in the bank, so he is kind of flatlining here. It's a 3 base AM. Okay, so what is the Americans going to do here? Looks like they want to keep fighting. Well, they have to fight. If this second city goes down, that's it for them. Okay, Molar Fiend in the frontal base position, so okay. Not super great damage against infantry, but again, it's going to do its job by protecting that front base hex for the Tau player.
I do like to see that Basilisk. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's about getting your army to the front faster, a unit that can shoot 6 spaces is going to start doing damage pretty fast.
Yeah. Now, we still haven't seen the Devastator Doctrine researched by the SM player, which is kind of, I mean, why? Let's see his influence. His influence, his influence is not too good actually, the SM player. So maybe that's a reason we're not seeing him get that Doctrine out. I think he's sitting at, okay, squad gets wiped out. He's sitting at, well, gosh, I'm trying to, okay, if I get into the base, it'll show me. Auto camera sucks, guys. Okay, 58 influence. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. I don't even think he has enough influence to drop a tower right now.
Yeah, I think the tower he dropped quite a few turns ago was his reach. Like, that was the one he was meant to sway the battle.
Right, this one here. Okay. All right, so we got a shielded up. Did he shield the city? Or, yeah, shield the city. Okay. All right, the Russians, what do they do? All right, gave up the HP relic to save his marine, it looks like. Will the Russians keep fighting this, or do they fall back? Because sometimes in Gladius, Wiresky, I feel like sometimes you just have to know when to quit, like know when to retreat and live another day, you know?
Yeah, and usually that's when you see a hammerhead and a crisis suit come out on the same turn on the city you're assaulting. Yes, Deimos has definitely supported this defense here.
Yeah, comeback. So we look at the productions. We got in the main base. We got a one cultist production, 2 armory productions. So that's 3 productions right there. Going to the other expansion, you got 4 armories. So that's 5, 6, 7. You got 7 production buildings for Chaos right now. Going to Tau, I think we got 4 productions. So 4 production buildings for Tau. So kind of low for Tau because they lost the city. Again, Deimos literally has 7 production buildings. That's crazy. Going to AM, looks like AM has gone Crane. So again, you go Crane. Why not fall back, defend? Cranes usually you get more benefit as the game draws out because the Crane will speed up those productions. Again, he did Crane in his main, did Crane in his both expansions. So the AM player is set up for a good late game here. Whenever you go Crane, you have lots of options for the late game. You can quickly build airports. You can build those resource buildings quickly. So
it does look like they're falling back a little bit, or at least getting to that choke point.
And now SM has 4 production buildings, which is good to see this game because, as you know, last game he only had 3. So I'm happy that at least he has 4 this game around. But Deimos is the power player of this game right now. Whoa, very aggressive Molar Fiend push. Do they have enough though to deal with that Molar Fiend? That's the question. Are there Melta Bombs? Melta Bombs don't do a whole lot to Molar Fiends. All right, I think that's the right play. Just surrender that fortress. It did its job. You were able to snipe the Chaos Lord. So looking at the SM economy now, he's a lot in the bank, so seems to be okay at this point. But plus 26 is not a very good rec, probably because he lost that pasture just now. But going back, like I said, Deimos is the power player of this game right now with 7 production buildings. Just to give you an idea, it's almost like Deimos' production buildings is as much as the Russians' production together combined. So that just shows you how much of a beast Deimos is with Chaos right now. He's a little bit slow with his build in the early game, but you allow Deimos Chaos to get to mid to late game, you're going to deal with 7 production buildings.
Yeah, he uses that first cultist building to rush out 3 cities, so it slows him down in the beginning, but if he can make it to turn 40, he's going to be outproducing everybody.
All right, so let's analyze this a bit. Okay, so you have AM that's gone fully craned up on all cities. They have pretty decent ore per turn. Right now, no ore in the bank. Their research is 43, so that's decent research in a fast speed game right now. So that tells me, yeah, exactly. He's got tanks unlocked. Great. So I think that's gonna be a big factor in pushing back a lot of these Molar Fiends. The tanks, I believe, especially once you get them upgraded. The real question is, I don't think he can go air unless he's going to dedicate some power resources. But like I said, he went Crane, so he could technically unlock the air tech and build some airports if he wants to. But his air, he doesn't really have... Well, he has this base that is power, actually, now that I think of it. That's going to give him some good power resources if he taps into that. So he could go air. The AM player could go air. And we know, if you play this game enough, you know Chaos struggles with air a bit. And especially that he knows that he goes heavy on the Molar Fiends. Will AM tech into air? And that might be a game-winning strategy, because if Chaos does not have an answer to air, what do you do?
I think that's a good strategy here because they've done enough damage to the Tau that the Tau is going to take time to rebuild, and if they the chaos isn't going to push without the Tau, so they have enough time to tech into air, get a few air units out, and just dominate the game that way.
Exactly, and I mean, Tao is already kind of hemorrhaging a little bit here. He's on 2 base. I mean, Tao might give him a few tank support for air, but I don't think that's going to be enough to spread across the whole battlefield. So we'll see if AM does decide to tech into air with tanks. Again, I think he could totally do it, especially that he went the crane route. Well, we'll see if that does happen. So we see he's going to try for this Muller Fiend snipe. Can he get it? The Devastators are doing decent damage. I would like to see the Doctrine, though, for the Devastators, but I think right now the SM player is struggling with his influence, so I don't think he's going to unlock that.
I think that's in part too with that lone Chaos Space Marine taking a lot of his outpost up in the top corner, right? He was probably relying on those for influence and things.
Yeah, a lot of outposts there in the hands of Deimos right now. And again, that is the drawback of when you forward expand with your ally, You're going to have that corner basically not really protected well because, again, your base isn't there. So it looks like they got enough damage to... So I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a misplay by Deimos because, I mean, I wouldn't want to sacrifice a beautiful Muller Fiend as a scout. He could have thought that there's no way he has enough firepower to deal with my Muller Fiend. That could have been his thinking, but I feel like that's a very expensive scout to lose.
Right, especially when there's drones available and
you got a level 6 tank commander from that.
And yeah, we did get a level 6 tank commander, and you didn't really need to scout too much. You knew that's where the army went. They didn't have anywhere else to go.
Right.
It was only one turn.
Again, it wasn't like a life or death scouting opportunity. It was kind of a greedy scout in my opinion. But it's definitely, the game is not over. It's just these are the little things that happen in Gladius. Players will roll the dice and they'll figure out if that was a good move or not.
Maybe he was thinking he was going to catch like one of the lower health Hydras that backed up there. I don't know. There's only one. I don't know what he did with that Muller Fiend, really. But it's okay. If he's been playing very well, he's allowed to make one greedy move.
Okay, Wise Guy, I'm going to be gone for 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Oh no, I'm all by myself. Guys are going to have a little delay in the action because I'm on a little delay myself. But it does look like Deimos, the Tau and the Chaos are bringing their forces together to do, a frontline defense, frontline push. They have enough firepower, but the Russians are creating a strong line of defense. I feel like the Tau just need to get a few hammerheads out to really push the battle, turn the battle's tides, because it's not been going well for them. we're seeing what the Russian team is trying to do here. Seems like they don't want to fall all the way back. They want to take the ruins. Maybe they're banking on the chaos, making another misplay with the Mauler Fiends. I haven't seen Castellans being used by a player yet. A little preamble for AdMech.
Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, very exciting game 2. A lot of interesting stuff. We had basically a siege of Patuljak's third base. Very close, almost defended, but then goes down. Then you have a Chaos Lord Alpha Strike, kills some stuff, but then Russians come back, snipe the Chaos Lord. Now we're getting into the game where Deimos' economy and production started taking over, and you have AM that chose to go Cranes. So this is a very interesting game. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the next 20 or so turns.
It's a risky third city they put back down.
Oh yeah. So they put the third city down, and but it's well protected at this point. So
That's true.
I'm sure a lot of blood will have to be spilled for that city to go down.
Yeah, it's not worth the troops that they'd have to invest to take it down.
All right, and those people watching on the live stream, what is your thoughts so far in the game? Who are you routing to win? Are you routing for the Russians, or you want the Americans to win, or do you just like a particular faction to win? Let us know. Right now, I think it could be anybody's game, really, because Deimos' economy and production is just so good right now, and I feel like that kind of makes up for even Tau losing a base. But I feel like the Russians, if I had to give maybe the advantage at this point in the game right now, I feel like the Russians are at that level. I feel like they have the map control. They have a way better unit composition than last game. And yeah, so I think they're in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, I think they're in the driver's seat. I do like. I'm kind of rooting for the American team just because they lost so much. I want to see them like for the comeback story, you know.
Yeah, comeback story, definitely.
But at the same time, I want to root for the Russians for their tenacity. You know, like they just bulldogged their way through that city, bulldogged their way into getting the Chaos Lord, and now they're still being like kind of aggressive. Like instead of falling all the way back, they're just taking those ruins and setting up a line.
Yeah, and again, this is do or die for this Russian team. I mean, this is best of 3, so the Americans already won a game. They're one game away for finishing off the Russians. So the Russians have to win this. They cannot afford to make any more mistakes. They need to play very precisely, meticulously, and they're doing a good job so far. They're definitely, I definitely notice a change in them this game compared to last game.
For sure. What's going on with their tower up there, though? It looks like they're losing a tower to wildlife. Was that, you think that was prompted by the Chaos Space Marine? Did he like aggro all the wildlife nearby to try to get them to go after the tower?
That's a good question. It doesn't appear that he aggroed the wildlife, but I think what could happen is for some reason the wildlife just had enough with this tower. I think over a course of time, sometimes they just get triggered and they just want to do damage to a tower. And that could be happening right now. You have the Bastion maybe perhaps hitting it, the Scorpion hitting it, the Cultist hitting it. There could be a couple turns where all the wildlife will just diffuse and not hit it anymore. But
Wait, they've been doing it for a few turns. I'm wondering if maybe it's the Castellan mod popping out. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Oh, right, because there's a Castellan owned by the player, right? That could be it. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe by the Castellan attacking stuff, it's triggering the wildlife. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but that is interesting. This could be very bad for the SM player if that tower goes down, because as we know, the SM player is only plus 22 rec per turn, so that's not very great. He does have a good amount in the bank, but again, you don't want to be at plus 22. You want to be at least plus 40, plus 50.
Yeah, losing that rec tower will slow his economy. I mean, they don't really have a great late game. That'll make it even worse.
All right, so now we're basically going into mid-late game, going into maybe early late game. It's not quite late game right now. I would say, turn 44 fast speed. We're still kind of in the aftermath of mid game, but we're approaching the later game because now we're starting to see Lemon Russes coming out, and again, the real question is, will AM tech to air? We will see. Looks like Deimos is pretty straightforward with just the mech that he's producing, Hellbrutes and Molar Fiends, but he's gonna need Patuljak to support his Molar Fiends. He's gonna need some infantry. All right, so we are getting a push here. Ouch, ouch. So this is very, very dangerous. You've got Devastators in cover in ruins, so they got the cover bonus. You got Melta Bombs ready to go on the Hellbrute. You got artillery. Okay, now you got a tank coming in. Okay, it looks like they got a push here. So he's got a lot of Molar Fiends to protect these tanks from Melta Bombs. Looks like they're gonna get one Assault Marine. You do have a Crisis Battlesuit that can perhaps go to this space here and maybe one-shot a Devastator. Maybe that's what they're hoping right now.
Yeah, I feel like getting rid of the Devastators are their best hope.
All right, so Crisis will... Oh, he can't get in there because you still have this unit zoning right here. This is... Yeah, he still can't get in there. All right, interesting.
Well, it does. I mean, they're still stopping the Meltas from doing too much damage.
Yes. All right, so
if you put the X V8s out front, they would be melted pretty quickly.
Yeah. All right, do you have any more missiles? Oh man, those missiles are clutch. They always seem to do just the right amount of damage to finish off a unit. And can he missile that too? I don't know. Can missiles shoot over? right?
No, I believe they do not have barrage.
All right, so this is going to be very interesting. How will the Russians respond from this aggression from the Americans? You got a wall of Muller Fiends and a Hellbrute. You do have Devastators sort of in position to do some damage here. And then you have the Chaos Spring back to get the HP Relic. This is very funny.
Yeah.
Oh, this tower might go down. Yeah, this is... boy, the Russians are getting kind of bad luck right now. Okay, Tank Commander coming in. Very kind of dangerous for the Tank Commander. There's a lot of Muller Fiends out on the battlefield, but he is pushing. Yeah, looks like the Russians want to fight this. They have to get the morale back. I think they should... I don't know what unit they go for first. Maybe use the artillery to get a model down on a crisis. Okay. So they do that. That rallies one Marine, but it's only one model. All right. Scout Sentinels do a little bit of damage. Yeah, he's got to get these Devastators here with good morale. That's very important, but... I think you should have went for these, because this Devastator didn't get the morale boost from the one model being dead. It has to be within 3 hexes. All right, going for a Hammerhead. This is a very ballsy move here. Looks like, yeah, he has to see if okay. Oh, that did give the morale boost from that 1, 2. Okay, so it's 4 hexes, I guess. I don't know. I always thought it was 3. Okay, so he still doesn't have enough damage. If he had that edict, if he had the edict to make the Devastators do more damage, that would be enough. So then he's got to tap it with something. What does he tap it with?
The Basilisk?
Basilisk already did its move.
Oh.
Alright, so looks like you got some Melted Bomb action here. Kind of think they should kill this first to get this demoraled. Like, why Melted Bomb it right now? Kill this. That should get demoraled. There's been a few instances in this game where I feel like they've not done the right order with their units, but we'll see. Devastator shoots and killed. Okay. All right, going for the other Muller Fiend. Yeah. And do they have enough? Oh gosh, I don't think they have enough. Oh, that's going to be really sad. Because that Muller Fiend is so close to dying. They do have a Devastator that could move and probably shoot, but then it's like in the front line, it will die. Yeah, so this is a choice they got to make. They could move it. Oh, that's not even enough. Even if they move it, they don't do enough damage. Wow.
Well, even still, they don't have the Warp Smith out, so the Muller Fiend's going to have to fall back like, quite a lot.
Right, and just get natural healing of 2 per turn.
Really, it looks like a successful defense of this attempted push that the American team was trying to do.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a stalemate of some sorts. But yeah, you're right. It looks like the Americans will probably retreat here because everything's demoraled. They do have openings to get these Hydras, though. The Hydras are kind of in the open here. Yeah, he's coming in with the other Muller Fiend. Yep, so he is going to continue this attack. He is not retreating. The problem is he... Okay. Missile. Hydra down. Okay.
Oh wait, I think the drones can heal the Mauler Fiends too, can't they?
No, only Tau.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait. No, they can't. They can heal. Yes, they can heal vehicles. Actually, it says allied vehicles. Yep. So they're very good in this combination. All right. So Crisis have their sacrifice knife here. I assume he's gonna probably utilize that, perhaps. Wow, this is a very in-your-face type battle we're having here.
Yeah, nobody's given an inch at any point. Does anybody?
Okay, and there's the warp smith. I guess it must have been made a while ago and put into a transport. Okay, he uses the digital and he runs it back. Some cheeky moves there from Deimos. All right, and we are seeing Psyker Covens coming down, so that looks like a very interesting choice. That is going to help them deal with the Molar Fiends quite effectively. The Psyker Infantry for AM has kind of a Doom ability that will make damaging the Molar Fiends a lot more effective.
I gotta say that was a pretty sneaky move from that. First, I didn't even know he built a warp smith at any point.
Yeah, I wasn't checking.
Instead of using it to just heal up a Mauler Fiend, he uses that feather thing to do damage and run. Like, what the?
Yeah, a lot of high play moves here coming from the American team. They're set. They want to push. They want to destroy this front line. They've had enough with the Americans. I mean, they had enough with the Russians. Sorry. But he's got to deal with these devastators. What's going on? He's got to use. Yeah, he's got to use something. Okay, no, he's choosing to delete the Hydra.
Trying to just demoralize them and get rid of the more.
Okay, so that Crisis did shoot one of the devastators. Okay. Yeah, so if he moves this drone, oh no, he's gonna keep the drone there. Okay. All right, so yeah, that injured Molar Fiend will live another day. It did its job. Took a bunch of bullets, and now the devastators are starting to get targeted. So this is the point where if he had maybe a Chimera in the back, they could do maybe a retreat. But now it's almost like they're pinned down now. You do have Lemon Rust is now coming out of the main production building of AM, so will help. But this fight is happening right now, so maybe the Russians should have retreated farther to the base.
Yeah, I think they felt confident about that line, and it looked like a confident line. You know, it was. But I guess it was just a confident line of lower tier units. And again, this is the same thing that happened last time. The units just got outclassed by the higher tier Mauler Fiends and Hammerheads.
All right, so reinforcements are trickling down, but don't know if it's going to be in time here. It's this army is at risk at just getting wiped out. You got multiple units sort of pinned down a bit.
That tower's like one hit away.
Looks like gonna go for the Crisis and finish off the Crisis here. Do they try for the Hammerhead? I mean, you've got some firepower to get rid of this Hammerhead, but I assume the Devastators will most likely die next turn. All right, so the Russians are fighting back. They're saying, we're not just gonna lay down and die to you, Americans. Now, do crack grenades do the job? I think cracks are enough to kill this. I don't know. Or they have to demoral a little bit more. All right, the lone gunman does it. Okay, so Russians are deleting some units here. It might be another stalemate. Both forces might just kind of fall back to their starting positions, maybe. I don't know. I got a feeling the Americans want to keep pushing here. But they're losing crises. Crises are the things that are helping them deal with the infantry. And I mean, if this crisis goes down, which I don't think they have enough damage to do that. Well, that one actually has grenades. Okay, doing a little bit of retreat here. Fall back. Oh, no. I was hoping for a melt-a-bomb on this, but I don't think he had enough damage with 3 models to deliver the killing blow on that drone. All right, so it looks like they're weighing their options here. I'm thinking if they can almost kill this, it might demoralize this, which gives the Devastators maybe enough damage to deal with it. If this is shaken, maybe. So they have to kind of do damage to this thing. So grenades, they are pinned though. No, don't attack it. Attack the crisis over here first, please. You need to demoral this. Okay, so he doesn't. I think that was a mistake. Because I think if they kill one more model of the crisis, they're going to do... I think they would have enough damage. Oh, looks like they... Okay, they do have enough damage anyways to kill it. Because they moved the Devastator. I mean, the crisis were already demoralized. But it doesn't change anything on that. Okay, so the Russians responded back. You can't get rid of us that easy. But again, the Muller Fiends are still all alive. But if... he's got to protect these Devastators. He's got some cultists that can fly in there. But these Muller Fiends aren't going to be enough on their own to deal with the Devastators.
Yeah, that's their one drawback, is against like groups of troops. They don't really do what you want them to do.
All right. So Tau wants to push. They want to push on this right side. Okay, they took out a Devastator group. Very nice. But again, he's got 2 crises left right now. And I'm assuming this one that attack will get taken out next turn if they stay and fight. All right, brings back the injured Muller Fiend. Okay. Gun drone finishes it off. Yeah. Okay, there comes the Warp Smith heal. So now pretty much they have to delete a Muller Fiend. They can't just leave it alive. It's just going to get healed up. We got more tanks producing, engineer, and we do have the Psyker Coven being produced in that one base. Going back to SM, and we can see if has he made any... No orbital relays, so he's going more just kind of a non-crane SM build. Deimos, is he doing anything differently? It looks like Deimos has done his production for the game. What I mean by that, he's choosing not to build population buildings, and he just wants to roll with what he has for the rest of the game. Now, I think that is going to be problematic for him if the game goes very long, because eventually, you're not improving your economy any more than you are at this point in the game going forward. But he has so many outposts, and he had those 3 early cities producing for him. So it might not matter. So he is pushing this left flank here. Definitely cleaning up the mech that was on the left flank. Demoralized tank commander. That's a little scary right now, because Molar Fiends do a lot of damage to it.
That's a lot of influence they're expending to demoralize the tank commander. But about the Deimos not moving up his economy, I mean, this is what's keeping them in the game, I think, right? Like, he made that decision so that he could produce enough Mauler Fiends to create a problem for the Russians and create a front line. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
would have been a slower trickle.
He has, I think we counted it, 7 production buildings. So it's not like he doesn't have good production. He has amazing production. But pretty much this is basically Deimos for the rest of the game. It's going to be a trickle of if he unlocks the Venom Crawler, he might also produce some Venom Crawlers. Will he do maybe a late game MOP? I don't know. But they are gaining momentum. The Americans are pushing strong here. Looks like the Russians are constantly getting pushed back and forth. Their troop numbers are dwindling. You can see the American side seems to have a lot more healthy big units than the Russians do. So
I've seen that Deimos has done the cheeky turn off your crane too. I like that. I like that trick.
Right. And again, this strategy works very well for the mid-late game. It starts to fall off maybe when you get to real late game, because you're not investing more into your cities at that point. So
yeah, it forces you to be aggressive, which is maybe why we're seeing them push so hard instead of recouping their losses.
Because you can see the AM player is like, he's building in all his cities constantly. So if this game goes another 20 turns, you could say then the AM player will be in a better position than the Chaos player, but we'll see. Right now, the Russians are it's looking bleak for them. They're demoralized, they're lacking troops. Tank commander has to get out of there. It's way too much threat from all these Molar Fiends. The Devastators, unfortunately, are probably... He can maybe rescue maybe a couple of them. And again, we got the battle of the robot and the Chaos Marine going back and forth here. Like I said, he's going Psyker Coven. Why not just play super defensive, go back to your cities, hold the base hexes, wait for a couple Psykers to give you that advantage that you can start to pop these Molar Fiends quite easy once the Psyker infantry's out. That's also... now we see SM going armories, late armories, so... Looks like he wants to make a slow transition into armor. Tao is, he's got his 3rd base, so he's slowly getting back in the game far as power-wise goes.
Yeah, the Dreadnought's melt weapon does really nice work against the Mauler Fiends.
Yeah, it's a very brutal game. Like, we've seen so much destruction. City snipe, hero snipe, losses of army on both sides. Now a tug of war for this middle territory here. Definitely not a boring game. A lot of action here.
A lot of action, and it's anybody's game, really. Like, it's looking good for the Americans, but I mean, it was looking good for the Russians not too many turns ago. So
yeah, that's true. So looks like they're gonna get a Molar Fiend snipe on the side here, perhaps. Just need a little more damage. I don't know. I guess the artillery has to come over. And then... Actually, that might live, the Molorfiend. It's very close. That breaks your heart when you're so close to killing a unit like that and it gets away. He still has HP relics, so that's good. Yeah, I think right now they're thinking to themselves, how do we kill this Molorfiend? And don't know.
You think that tank commander's at risk? Nope, not anymore.
All right, this is very interesting. I'm gonna jump to the Americans to see what they're talking about. I will be right back. All right, so we're the American drop pod here.
Okay.
That's
This
a little much wasted.
and I guess.
Heal my Helbert, please.
Heal what?
Helbert.
Helbert, yeah, 1 sec. Okay, let me.
I can finish with cultists. Or
No, I'm just thinking about the XV8. Probably best to use them on the lemon, or maybe on the tacticals. I'm not sure. Tacticals, I guess. Okay, I can finish that with the crisis. Probably the best.
yes.
And now the other crisis on the tacticals, I guess. Okay, I don't have a seeker to finish, which sucks.
You can just finish it with a shot from
With what?
range 3. Just shoot them
with
from
the
range
tank,
3.
yeah. I guess. Wait, what do I want to do with the second tank? Maybe just go here. That's fine. And the other crisis goes. Wait.
In the Rhino, maybe?
No, I can use it like here. I don't think they can kill it right now.
Okay. If you think they cannot kill it.
And I can finish the low marines, but those have Melta, so probably those.
Yeah, probably those.
Oh, I had a tank. I could have used.
All right, so the Americans are pushing pretty aggressively here, and again, they're able to inflict very high losses for the Russians here. Russians are demoralized. They're running out of troops, basically. They just their troops are melting before them, and they couldn't get to their city in time. That's basically they didn't have chimeras to run out the troops. I always think that you should always build a couple in case stuff like this happens. But you know, now they're slowly dying to them trying to retreat. It's not looking good for the Russians, and I think the Americans
just shoot.
Americans
And
realize
use the
that.
contests to shoot. Just why not?
I mean, the Molorfiend count is crazy. You got a lot of Molorfiends, a lot of hammerheads, very hard, a lot of punching power here, and you don't have chaff
Right.
units.
Out of the city, it can continue healing on the tile, and you can use it if you need it.
I mean, the counter to Motherface's chattiness.
My adventure succeeded.
Oh, nice. That's very nice.
Oh, he lost the tower. So he shot the Scorpion to make it attack the tower. And then you got SM.
Don't be bad mannered. It's a tournament. Behave.
That's Chaos Space Marines from Down the War. Don't you remember, sir?
What? Don't I remember what?
In Down the War, that's their line. Like they, fuck, they laugh like madmen. There.
Not sure I remember. I didn't actually get the DLC, so I never played this chaos.
What? Down the War was originally with Chaos.
Okay, so lemons. Let's see. Versus full morale, hammerheads do level Anna, level 1 hammerhead does like 11 damage. But I can dismorale, but if I didn't lose the third base, I could have built some influence by now, and it would be easy to demorale the lemons. But I guess I gotta do it. It's the easy solution. Their morale is very low, just 8.
Is there any? Oh, there's actually a trader camp. I can buy a second digital weapon.
And maybe a west.
I can buy a second digital weapon. More digital weapons.
And buy a
Visible
west
digital
just to be safe,
weapons.
in my opinion. Or
Okay.
you can,
Sure,
you can wait.
sure.
Wait. You can buy 2 pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
In 2 turns you can. So maybe better to just buy 2 digital weapons. We can clear what's on the left, except the lemon. Pretty easy. So let my tanks kill the castle. I think
Why?
that-
Castellan has defense from ranged attacks. And tanks don't.
Oh, I see. For Bowser, great. I need to go through the traits again at some point. I just forgot too many of them at this point. Oh, and I'm gonna have dinner pretty soon, so I'm gonna have to call for a break. Probably.
No breaks.
I gotta eat, man.
Okay, so back in drop pod 3. Yeah, they're definitely, Americans are feeling good right now. They feel like pretty confident, I would say. The
Yeah, they're
Russians,
joking about buying digital weapons.
yeah. I think like the Devastators were pretty crucial, and I think the key for the Americans were taking care of those Devastators.
Yeah, I think so too. They would have really benefited from having a transport to swing them back out of battle once they realized that they had to retreat, because the Mauler Fiends let them catch up and flank them from the side.
So are we seeing another victory from the Americans? It appears to be like that, but they have to break the defense of the AM City. They have so many Muller Fiends, so I feel like they've got so many answers. They can just overwhelm the forces that are left now. There's not many forces left from the Russian side. I think once that tank commander goes down, that's kind of the nail in the coffin. If I were to Because I would say like the cranes are kind of a risky thing because you could look at it like this: Deimos didn't go cranes. Instead, he just built more production buildings. Whereas the AM player went cranes. Those are turns where you could have maybe had 2 or 3 more production buildings. And, you know, in this battle, you can see the Russians have kind of deteriorated. So the cranes aren't going to help you at this point of the game. I mean, maybe 20 turns if you could survive. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's tough too with the SM, you know, losing a lot of their outposts, right? Their economy seems pretty rough.
Yeah, the SM economy, you're right, hasn't been that great. But again, we see the Muller Fiends basically just performing very well in this tournament. I wonder whoever makes it to the finals, how are they going to answer to this Tau Chaos combo that we're seeing? So those people are watching. There is another group. It's a Russian team and then an unknown team that I've never heard of. I'm not saying it might be a blowout. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say they don't have a chance. But the other Russian team, one of the players is Ottoman, who's a really good Russian player. And then who is the other Russian? Bulky, I think, is the second Russian player on the other Russian team. So very strong other Russian team that wants to participate in this tournament. They're going to be matched up with an unknown PvP team that I've never heard of. Never even.
Well, you can't discount the unknowns. You never know.
Yeah. It could. Well, it could be. Maybe it's like it's actual PvP players, but they're incognito. They're just under different names or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, we don't know. They might put up a good fight.
Right, trying to lull the team into a false sense of security. Maybe it's Yurga. Is Yurga playing?
I don't know, but there's these 2 players. I've never seen them before, and they want to be in the tournament. And so I said, yeah, sure. I said to them, you have had some player versus player experience, and they said, yes, we've played a few or so. Again, they could be just like you said. They could be incognito. They could be mystery players that just don't want to reveal their true identity. But anyways, we'll find out. We'll find out if these are some hardcore PvP players or are they just casual people that want to enter the tournament. Either way, it looks like the Americans are about to do their death strike here. They're setting up some huge damage here.
Yeah, they're definitely closing out this game. And you know, the Russians had a good shot early on. They went for the tower, and that's usually enough to close out a game. But in this case, you know, doing the assault when your army is big enough to easily take out a city, it will definitely close out a game.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that Deimos' just raw production was just so great this game, and the fact that, you know, in Deimos' capable hands, like he's pretty smart with his units. So he has I mean that, like, look how many Muller Fiends we're looking at. It's a lot, and it's hard to deal with these Muller Fiends. The Russian team has not had that much success. The only success they've had against Muller Fiends is when Deimos sends like lone Muller Fiends out to scout, and then sometimes they kill them. But now the Muller Fiends, their weakness is they can't deal with chaff units very well. Like you throw guardsmen in front of them, even Marines, they're gonna get bogged down. But the problem is when you don't have any more of those units, then the Muller Fiends are just gonna go in there and make you pay. They're gonna go after heroes. They're gonna get into your base.
Yeah, I think so. And then the thing is, they had in this game they had the XV8s to clear the chaff, you know, to get in and kill those.
Exactly. I mean, if this was 1v1 versus chaos, the other player could just be like, okay, you're going full Muller Fiends. I'm just gonna go a bunch of chaff units and try to, you know, counteract the Muller Fiends. But in this game, like you said, you got Crises filling that role of making pathways for the Muller Fiends to go in there and hit their targets. And it looks like that is it. The Russians have conceded. The Americans have conquered the Russians, and this is set 1 of this tournament. And it's going to go to Deimos and Patuljak. So great game by them. They are on to the finals. So it seems they are maybe the favorite team at this point. We do have one more group that will be participating in when they're ready in the future, and then that winner of that group will face the Americans here. Military-wise, you can just see Deimos all over this chart, like just skyrocketing. So very scary player, very good economy. You see the researches. Looks like LostOne a little bit lower in there. Very good game. The Russians played good. I thought they played a lot better the second game, and it was very close. And they shouldn't, you know, be distraught about it. They played really good. But
valiant effort by the Russians. Valiant effort. Like, they took a city down. They took
Yeah.
the Lord down. Like,
I mean, it was very entertaining. In fact, at one point, I thought the Russians had it in the bag, but the Americans just were so resilient, and they came back from this.
it's almost like, what more could they do to try to win? You know, they did everything they could possibly think of, but they just couldn't get through those Muller Fiends.
All right, so good game to everybody. Thank you, Wire Sky, for commentary. I appreciate it. And that's going to be it for me today for this tournament bracket. I will